inspirational speech about. You guys ever just like? I guess what I'm about to say is, have you guys ever just been in a good mood and everyone's like, yeah. I've just been like, the last hour I've just been chilling. We've just been kind of bopping. We've just been kind of listening to some old songs, some old music. Just kind of like having a good time. And yeah, the TLDR is that I'm just in a good mood. And hopefully you guys are excited for some good StarCraft 2. Let's get ourselves into it. We're going to be doing Group D of the WardiTV June. We've got Group D and the rest of Group C today, followed by playoffs tomorrow. Let's have a look at what that means. Today's group stage lookout is brought to you by Kukurus, who comes in with a 9-month resub on the Prime. Without that Prime, we would not have been able to afford this scene change to show you guys that today we'll be starting out in Group D with Mana, Hydra, Nicoract, and a wild Reynor appears. And then we're going to be following on into Group C and the rest of those matches from the other day and get that group rounded out and all of that good stuff. So that is what's going on. That's what we can look forward to. The exact matchup order you might be asking: Hydra versus Nicoract, Mana versus Hydra, Hydra versus Reynor, Nicoract versus Reynor, Mana versus Nicoract, and Reynor versus Mana. That's going to be the match order for today's 6 best of 3s. Then we'll go into MaxPax Spirit, Cristiano Spirit, and YoungYakov versus MaxPax. We might switch the order of those 3 in Group C up a little bit just to... I mean, MaxPax and Spirit are both 1-0, so maybe we'll do MaxPax Spirit last just to potentially have the match which is maybe going to be most important and try and avoid an unimportant matchup results-wise or something along those lines. But yeah, that's TLDR, what's going to be going on today. 9 best of 3s. Kailaris in the chat. Hello, hello. Nicoract's already hosting the game for me. What a legend. I think we're missing 1. And then I think we should be pretty much good to go. Alright. You guys excited? Some TVP to start us off? I'm definitely excited. What's up? Let's go into some games. Football's good, but it seems already. I just knew you were going to be here, Kailaris. I just knew you were going to show up. And I just knew that was going to make my day, you know? I just had a feeling that the Kailaris was going to grace us with his presence. It was a beautiful thing. Alright, in the bottom left-hand side, we're going to kick today off with the red Terran player. I actually think he's got a pretty good shot at making a go of getting out of this group. He is going to be Nicoract, and I say that because I think him versus Mana later today might actually be a pretty important matchup that could decide a lot of things. In the top right-hand side, our blue Protoss player is Hydra, who's definitely the underdog of this group. Excited to see what he can bring us and see if he can bring us some surprises. Excited to see what's going on. Dr. Bazinga SC, great t-shirt. I love that. Blue and some like... Honestly, I said this morning when I woke up. I put this t-shirt on and I was like, I've not worn this. So this is a funny story. I literally put this t-shirt away and I have not worn it for like 6 months. Because I was absolutely convinced that people were memeing. And there was a thing where every time I wore this shirt, people were in on it to be like, wow, that's a really cool shirt. Because people say this an unrealistic amount. And today I found in my closet, I was like, you know what? I'm going to wear this shirt. I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to put it on and see if it's still... Literally the first 5 minutes of the stream, someone mentions the shirt. I've worn so many shirts in my time on stream. I don't think anyone has mentioned any of them apart from this one. I just don't know what it is about this shirt. People love it. It's so weird. It's just you don't have to apologize. It's just genuinely very funny to me that apparently this is the one t-shirt that I can ever wear that will guarantee someone mentions what I'm wearing. Now you want to see it's it's quite literally it's just a StarCraft shirt that's like blue and white. People really seem to like it. Or they seem to think it's very notable. Or something like I don't know. I don't know, just like people every single time without fail, people mention it when I wear it. They're like, whoa, cool shirt, Wardy. And I'm just like, I've worn so many crazy shirts in the past, or different shirts and colorful shirts and all sorts of... This one, every time, without fail, someone mentions it. I genuinely, like I said, like last time, I was convinced that people were like making a meme out of it because I started to pick up on it, and I was like, no, sure. So I didn't wear it for a while. And still, it happens. Crazy. Maybe because you're not sure if there's a video issue on it. Yeah, because I guess it just looks interesting on camera. Honestly, it's just fascinating to me that it's so consistently picked up on by different people in chat. That's the thing. It's not just one guy who's like, "You're a cool shirt" every time I wear it. You know, it's really funny. I knew it when I wore this today. I knew someone was gonna say it. God damn it, that's crazy. All right. God, what a wild day. Is it still available? Oh, probably not. I think I bought this shirt years ago. Well, you know, because last time you could actually buy StarCraft 2 shirts were years ago. But even in terms of StarCraft merch, I think I got this like maybe one of the first BlizzCons I went to, like 2016 or something, 2017. It's an old shirt. I've had it a long ass time. It's I don't know if it had like a tag on it that had like a date on it, but it doesn't. It's come off because it's been so long. Yeah, no, it's an old one. I really like it though. It's like it's loose, it's light. It's a real good summer shirt. And it's a lovely summer's day here in the UK. Believe it or not, it's sun shining. Well, it's actually kind of windy outside, but the sun is still shining. You know, you can't have it all in the UK. It can be slightly warm, but it's still going to be windy, or something's going to go wrong. But you know, as far as the UK goes, it's a pretty nice day as well. So a little bit of Reaper Hellion poking in at the front. Two Stalkers and an Adept just going to turn that Reaper Hellion back the other direction. Banshee and Cloaking on the way up, and the Blink building on the Twilight Council as well, so we get that on the go. And a couple of Reapers and Hellions trading out here as we have a couple of grenades going down. Stalkers getting bobbed. That's a really nice 24 in hull at the minute. Nice. You just open your breakfast pint. Wow, you are living the weekend correctly, huh? Beautiful. Well, we've got StarCraft all weekend long. Obviously, there's Group D and C of the June event today. Playoffs tomorrow. And then on Sunday, we're going to be kicking off the WardiTV European League with Qualifier 1. 8 players will qualify. Should be a whole lot of fun. Looking forward to that. I think it goes down. A little Reaper grenade. Bobs the Stalkers. Yeah, I might just open a business selling shirts in this style. The amount of people that... So going back to the shirts, just to really stay off topic for a few more moments. Like the amount of people I mentioned, I reckon I could be onto something here. Like maybe this is how we continue to fund StarCraft 2. We sell blue and white shirts. Maybe that's how StarCraft 2 has an Esports World Championship in a few years from now. My blue and white shirt business really picks off. Alrighty, Stalkers are dealing with the Banshee, but not super well. 6 probes already going down. As we do have the extra Marines continue to come about. Siege Tank coming back to the front. A scan comes down as the Observer gets killed. And that will be a nice little catch, at least from Nicoract as well. So he's having all things going well for him so far. This might be a tricky one for HIGHDRA, because I feel like Nicoract is that player who's going to push. He's going to push hard. He's going to get in your way, and he's going to make your life a little bit miserable for it. And I feel like we're on the verge of seeing a Protoss player who's going to be under heavy attack and does not really have much of an answer to it, because he's been scrambling pretty much the entire game so far. And the problem is, if you're scrambling the entire game, you never really have time to solidify your defense, get the right amount of units up. Stalker's making a decent effort to get onto the siege tank. If there were any more Stalkers, this might have been okay, but this one's really just gone wrong very quickly. Again, that Banshee damage, adding up, the Reaper Hellion poking around, and HIGHDRA is just going to be in a little bit of a tricksy spot. We'll get rid of the tank, a Stalker going down. A couple Stalkers in the main base. We'll deal with the Banshee at least, so it will get a couple more probes, but at least we do get rid of it. Problem is, your robo facility is now under fire, and these few Stalkers, they get rid of the tank again, which kind of in theory means you have a chance to clean this up with extra Stalkers. And we've got a Colossus popping soon, charge on the way up. I mean, even if you defend this, you lost your third base during it, so it's really not exactly ideal whichever way you try and spin it right now. As the Banshee will fire a couple more shots going through, and we have ourselves the +1 stim and combat shield continue to build up for the moment. There goes the Banshee. It goes down immediately as the Medivacs, Marines, and Marauders coming through. Stimpak combat shield and +1 continuing to build up. This Bioforce setting up out the front of the third base. Both Medivacs going to lift off and leave out through to the top side. Game +2 attack, extended thermal lance, all of that continue to come around. The Colossus on the way as well, as the Stalker just going to go pinging onto the Medivacs. A little bit of bio unloading. The Stalkers will get pushed away over to the sides. Haven't seen Hydra playing in a long time. Yeah, obviously I've not really had the easiest of times playing in simple. Kind of getting plays together for this tournament. Hydra actually reached out to me when I made one of my tweets asking if people wanted to play. They're like, yo, I'm still passionate, still playing. I was like, you know what, hell yeah, let's get you in here. Let's get our boy Hydra some games, because I haven't actually seen him really play in a while either. I knew he was probably going to be an underdog in this group, but hey, I know what? If you're excited to play to the point you reach out when I tweet about it, I'm excited to get them involved. Two Colossus genuinely give you something of a chance to defend, but I feel like you have to force field everything, and even then Nicoract is going to play the no respect drop on top of the Colossus. Do a decent job trying to pull that Colossus back, but this game really spiraled out of control early, and Nicoract will be taking the first game of the first best of 3 today. Nicoract opening up strongly, and like I say, hitting hard, getting in there early, and doing some good damage, putting himself in a good position, and he knows how to just continue through with aggression like that and to keep it going to get himself a W. Pylon for map number 2 coming up in a few moments' time, as we'll continue our way into this second game of the best of 3, opening best of 3 today. Like I say, 9 best of 3s in total, as we do have the rest of that Group C to kind of jump through as well, which should be pretty fun also. Hydra's going to ask for a second or so. No worries there. We'll give him a moment and we'll get ready to kick this off. Ready, GLHF. GLHF says Nicoract, and GLHF says Hydra. As we get ready to go into Pylon. In the bottom right-hand side, our red Terran player is going to be Nicoract. And he is up 1 game in this best of 3, taking on the blue Protoss in the top left. Again, definitely our underdog of the group. Let's see if he can pull a back here on Pylon. It is going to be Hydra. Dutch Protoss player, like I said, played a while. One of those players who, if you follow like a lot of the online stuff, you'll have heard his name, you'll have seen him around, but he's not someone that's made a bigger splash. He's not someone that's had a big run in a regional or anything like that. This is a guy that's very good at StarCraft 2, but being very good at StarCraft 2, when you're comparing, when you're looking at the pro scene, being very good is still a very far way off being at the top of the top, because there's just such a skill discrepancy in this game. So, like I say, it's always fun to get players like this involved. See if you can pull out some upsets. He's the sort of player I'd love to see in the European League. Again, we're going to have 24 players in the European League. There is space to have some kind of wildcard players in there. This is not just going to be like a superstar-only event, and the group stage is Swiss format, which means that after a couple rounds, players should definitely start matching up against other players around their own levels. And so it's kind of really an opportunity for everyone to take part in the higher level of Europe, rather than just the the tippity top Clem, the Reynor, the MaxPax, the usual guys that play in our events from Europe. So yeah, that European League qualifier on Sunday should be fun. Hopefully, hoping we get some good signups for it, because yeah, I think we could be in for an interesting day. Probe is going to nibble at the SCV, and the SCV at the probe. A little bit of back and forth right there. The SCV will come across, get a probe right there as well. That comes over and is just going to nab an SCV straight away. He's just going to be able to get that grab. As what's up, Marek287, thank you so much for the Prime sub. 11 months, 4 in a row. Thank you so much for the Prime. Super appreciated. Thank you so much. You guys are sitting on a Prime. It's a beautiful day to use it. Friday the 13th is actually unofficially subscribe to Wardy with Prime Day every Friday the 13th, because, you know, some people think it's unlucky, but in reality, it's just your turn to pay forwards into more StarCraft 2. So, yeah, official date. There you go. I didn't even realize it was Friday the 13th. Isn't that scary? Spooky. Ugh. Is Friday the 13th meant to be spooky, or is it just meant to be unlucky? It's just meant to be, like, unlucky, right? Unlucky days. It's okay. Today's not unlucky. Today's going to be a day filled of luck. As the Reaper gets rid of the Zelt there, the Adept will dive back and forth with the Reaper for a few moments. Blink on the way up, warp gate building, a couple of additional probes coming out as we just see our orbital and our starport continuing to produce. Hellion ends up pretty low. Wardy day. You know what we didn't do, guys? So, I don't even think I talked about this on stream, but last week, literally 8 days ago. 8 days ago? Is it June 5th? Hang on, hold up. Hold up, we gotta actually do some fact checking first. Let me do some fact checking, hang on. Oh, okay, yeah, no, 8 days ago was June the 5th. Very important date. How the hell is it like the middle of June already? These months are passing so quickly right now, it's scary. So, June the 5th is a kind of an interesting day, because June the 5th was an official day that I went full-time in StarCraft 2, where I finished studying and doing exams and crap, and we decided, you know what, let's talk about this video game non-stop. And that was 10 years ago last week. So we've officially been full-time StarCraft 2 for 10 years. We were going to do like a big like streamy thing and like a streamathon. I didn't even know, like I didn't really want to do a subathon, but I was like, maybe we do like a couple long streams and celebrate some stuff and watch some old VODs. I just got busy and that never really came around, but like, I do think, I do think looking kind of back that it's kind of crazy to kind of come 10 years down the line full-time in StarCraft. I mean, that's pretty nuts. When you think when I went full-time as well, we had like... I had like 15, 20 subscribers. Like, subs were not a real thing. We were just about able to get a sponsorship together for a team league. Like, there was $2,000. We got like 4 different sponsors to add like $400 each for that, plus like $400 my own money. That was like the biggest event I could muster. It took a lot, you know... Kind of crazy to look back on it and to look at all of that. Yeah, it's crazy. I was trying to do YouTube content. I was making like YouTube guides and stuff. Yeah, it was really really crazy to think back. I don't know how we made it. Remember early years of Twitch where things like donations were frowned upon by the community. It's really, honestly, it's really weird because like, so I went full time and like I'm saying, I had like maybe 20, 30 subs or something along those lines. And I remember like the first couple of months I got up to like 50 subs and that was like a big deal, right? I mean, what was crazy, I was a Twitch partner before you could, I was able to run ads. I was a Twitch partner before I even got a sub button because that wasn't like included in being a partner back then. Originally when before I even went full time. But yeah, one of the super interesting things was definitely that I think for the first few months I did a lot of traveling because there's a lot of events. I went to a lot of places, so I did a lot of stuff like that. And then, and just as like a viewer or a fan, like it was a little bit of a time out. Then I took it very seriously from like January onwards. And I remember in April, we did like Home Story Cup qualifiers. And for some reason, Base Trade TV weren't streaming the Home Story Cup qualifiers. And obviously, it had almost been a year. And my parents were very skeptical that I was sat in a room talking at a computer screen. And these Home Story Cup qualifiers were super important because you had like a little donation goal to be able to go to Home Story Cup or something, right? And all of that. And we like this was the first time people ever, I would say, like genuinely like donated like a significant amount. Like we made like I want to say we made like $800 donations or something, plus like, you know, we got like 100 or 200 subs or something. I was like, oh my god. And I remember I showed my mom, and she was like, whoa. Well, that's lovely. But like, that changed that like was like a really turning point in my stream, because that moment was like the day where like it felt like people were just more generally like, hey, we should continue to support this guy, you know? Which was pretty, which is pretty crazy. Because, like I say, before then it was just, it still didn't even feel like much of a thing, but after that point it definitely became a lot more like, of a real thing, so, yeah. Ruby's accepting PayPal donors, weird. Yeah, that's crazy. You still have a 70-30 split contract? Yeah, me too. Like, I think I qualify for the premium Twitch whatever, or premium partner or whatever, but I also have like, I don't even have that because I have a grandfathered contract that they just never change. It's crazy, right? Hydra's kind of getting a bit bullied in this game, guys, as Nicoract has kind of just played a little bit better. I think it's plain and simple. Appreciate we have not made great commentary on the game itself, but yeah, I think this one is looking pretty good as Protoss wants to engage in. Bio tanks continue to fire. I'm gonna try and jump on the Colossus. One Colossus goes down, the second goes down. GG's. Nicoract takes a 2-0. Start off the day. And that will lead us to some PvP, as we're going to be going into Mana versus Hydra up next. So we'll get that ready to go. A go. And we'll kick that off. Alright, let me throw some ads on stuff, guys, so they don't play during the games. Perfect. Do you get XP for this message on YouTube? Yeah, apparently on YouTube you get XP for messages now, and then you can be the top person in the stream of the day. But it caps at like 3 messages. It's kind of you get 3 messages of XP, and then you have to pay to win on the YouTube leaderboards. You know, crazy business. What's up, Reynor? To you too. Alright, we got the videos going for Mana and Hydra, guys. So a little bit of PvP, and then we're going to have Hydra Reynor, and then Reynor Nicoract, and then Mana Nicoract, and then Reynor versus Mana to wrap up the day. Cool. And then we've got some Group C games as well. We've got a bunch of StarCraft today. Like 9 best of 3s, even if we have some fast games, it's still a pretty significant amount. That's why I kind of like the idea of splitting Group C in half and doing three matches the other day, 3 matches this day. Makes it feel good. Guarantees you more than a 3-hour stream, you know? It's always a positive. Always a positive. What's the Bulgarian StarCraft League? How are you guys doing? Thanks for dropping by, and you're gonna get gifted a sub? Wow. The anonymous gift. Kaboom. Ley lines for map number 1. Wow, all the players are vetoing fast and hosting today. I'm not even having to host things. It's like Wardy's day off over here. The great Wardy day off, as we are definitely missing casters. Don't start without them. Alright, GLHF's getting cold, guys. We will be in-game in just a few moments. Is my neck better? Oh, nope, it's not. I was like, is my neck better there? It's like, nope, it's not. It still hurts over there. Another anonymous gifted sub to Kalaris. It's a good thing we get Kalaris a gifted sub out here. We know this guy is running on fumes. He's only pocketed about $1 million of PUBG money this year, so he's basically not making it. Crazy stuff. He did have to pay for a wedding, which is, well, you know, probably does extract most of the PUBG earnings. I understand. Makes sense. It wasn't cheap. I could tell it wasn't cheap, James. It's very obviously not cheap. Ay. When every table has 3 bottles of vodka on it by 2 PM in the afternoon, I think you can tell it's not going to be a cheap day for somebody. In the bottom left-hand side, we are kicking off this PvP with the blue Protoss player from Team Liquid, Mana. He's up against the red Protoss in the top right-hand side, Hydra. Yo, I was wondering, do you get to keep all the vodka that wasn't drunk? Because I feel like there was a lot of it, no? I feel like there was a lot of it. Yes, I feel like you must have an absolute stockpile of vodka right now. Yeah. It's funny. Me and Helen were wondering this. You can see double gateway on both sides of the map here as we get this PvP started up on ley lines. That's going to be 2 gateways each. Cybercore coming through. Get 300 cakes to give to the neighbors. It's funny. Well, a couple gateways finishing up. Cybercore is continuing through. The probes on the way. And, yeah, we're just going to see a couple of sentries building up as well on the side of Hydra, while Mana will go for a couple of Stalkers. So, a little bit of a difference between the two to get us started here, Stalkers versus sentries. Obviously, Stalkers have a little bit more pushing and poking power is what I was going to say. And then on the other side, the sentries are going to give you much more information. Gather that energy, hallucinate, but also some force fields available to help you play defense as well. Maybe a Guardian Shield even further down the line, so I'd say a lot of that is very much so available. As the warp gate's coming through, essentially on the way up. We just have our Nexus starting on both sides of the map. So Nexus on the natural from both players here initially. We have the probe coming through, the warp gate coming online. We get all of that going. This probe coming back across toward the natural expansion for just a few moments. Both those Stalkers going to hit the hallucination. It's going to be taking a few hits. Going to see the sentries at the front going to wander forward as well. Don't feel like we're meant to lose a sentry, unfortunately. So it's a little bit sad. These Stalkers already succeeding in their first little poke forward. Let's start putting some damage on the battery. You play back and forth. The sentry trying to get in reach of the Stalkers, but it will be kited. Another sentry popping out is not going to provide a really immediate defense or anything, so getting a little tough. Especially losing one sentry. If you had that alive still, 3 sentries can maybe make a bit of a stand with a good force field or so. Twilight Council and Robo on the way from Hydra, so prioritize the Robo first, and then when Twilight Council very soon after, he's going to get himself a Warp Prism. Let's see what he puts into the Prism. Obviously, Warp Gate's finishing, so a few more Warp-ins will be available here in the very near future. Flies up, Resonating Glaze, yeah. I was going to say, it felt like, I didn't want to say anything really, because I'm not knowledgeable enough to really know, but it felt like, you know, something was off going Robo, but then Twilight still very soon after, so I'm not surprised to see the Glaives coming in right now. That kind of just makes sense to me, because otherwise, why wouldn't you have just gone Twilight first if it was going to be the, just Blink, and work on that, then get the Robo a bit later? So yeah, that makes a lot of sense in my eyes. That does, kind of add up. That's a bit of Stalker Sentry. Continues to gather together. Boonelbrack, 34, thank you so much for the Prime sub. 2 months on the resub. Thank you so much for resubscribing. Super appreciated. There's a couple of Adepts pull away toward the natural. A couple of Stalkers are going to be there. Push those Adepts back the other direction. Adepts do get a probe, so a few workers going down. It's actually quite nice. These Adepts have been pretty successful, so not a bad start. Obviously, we do lose some of the Adepts, which is... Every Adept you keep alive is nice, because you're going to have Glaives, but you're going to have plenty of Gateways coming up to reinforce with Adepts, so got that Glaives ready. Immortals on the way out, and this big Immortal Adept time is definitely going to be hitting rather soon. Into the main we go. Both the devs will unload. Are going to shade forward straight away. Bam. One probe goes down. I mean, this is honestly nice. Wave's been revealed, though. Mana going to come across the map. Pops the barrier on one Immortal. I mean, he's not mining from his main base currently. The devs aren't chasing the probes down, but you're not mining from the main. Blink in the main could be a pretty huge factor. Hallucination's going to see the possibility of it, and yeah, I feel like you got to start moving over there, right? Just to be ready for that possibility. Finally, these adepts going to get dealt with, but that took a long time. Like, these probes have not been mining for 30, 40 seconds. That's a serious length of time to not be kind of mining for. Oh, we blink and we get the prism that was on the way toward the main base. Hydra's Immortals are going to start trading here as the Stalkers are on blink cooldown. We get some kills. Nice force field. Gets a couple Stalkers because of it. Very nicely done. That's a big positive. Going to recall to the low ground. The force field is nicely placed. And it's such a mana move. I feel like I see Mana, one of the real kind of perpetrators of putting a force field on the ramp and blocking someone in or blocking someone out of a main or natural. It feels like he's one of the players that does this so freaking frequently. He really has... It's obviously not a trademark thing. Like, a lot of people do this, but like I feel like I see Mana attempt it and do it more than anybody else, which is pretty interesting. Do I know what happened to 4GG? I have no idea what happened to 4GG. I imagine he went on to do something else with his life. Yeah, I've got absolutely no clue. It's a name I've not heard in a long time, actually. It really is a throwback. My issue for Hydra is that he's playing a very aggressive army, and he doesn't have aggression on the map. Right, like, this army's up 20 armies, so like, he has to go, and it feels like he's been held back a lot already. Some barriers being popped as well, so those Immortals will be a little bit weaker when the bigger fight comes about. Folks gonna ping, Pylon will take some shots, just have extra depths coming through. Gates, Pylons continue to build up right now as we have the batteries in the front. Maybe taking some damage. Stalkers continue to fire through. I kind of like the counterattack because Mana has the mobility to kind of play the longer game. You do have the firepower with these Immortals for the straight up base trade though. If Mana knows that he's going to initiate the base trade, he can prepare for it, right? And that's exactly what he's... well, he actually has... He just has the third Nexus. He still has a way to get probes out, basically. Focus firing. A lot of probes dropping currently. 5 more batteries coming about. Pylon on the way in. This is, I mean, like I say, there's still some strength here from Hydra's army. The problem is that Mana has a third base, so as quickly as you're moving through this main base of Mana, Mana just has the third base location that you're going to have to eventually get to and deal with as Hydra. And that's just going to take him time, which he might not have. Mana starts to pull back home. Now, Hydra's main is still alive, but he has no way to really get back to mining. There's a ton of batteries there as well. The Adept has seen that Nexus. He's going to finish all the structures in the main base and start moving his way toward the third. I mean, he just has to take a fight. If he can force a fight, it might still be okay because the Immortals, if he can fight and keep fighting, the Blink Stalkers may not get enough chance to be as effective as they want to be. That was already an initial blink. Good force fields though. Yep, save some of these Adepts. Every unit is going to count right now. There's not a lot of production from either player, if any at all. Major supply blocks, so we're not really able to build much. Even if gateways were powered. Mana is on his way to a Cybercore and another gateway over here. The Adept's going to find a few of the probes that are around. I mean, I kind of like that, but yeah, you kind of got to go. The force field's going to keep this army in the natural a little longer. Army supply is now dead even because we gave up these Adepts. He only got 2 probes. Now that is, 33% of Mana's economy, but I do think he should have maybe tried to actually target down a couple more workers. I think he could have had a couple extras there. We're nearly out of force fields though, right? Okay, we've got a Nexus building now, so we can potentially mine ourselves. But Mana's already got the Nexus and the building available, right? So I still think you've got to try and break out of here and get something done. Sentry puts one more force field down. The problem is, again, the longer the fight takes, the more value the Stalkers provide. You need a straight up fight where these Immortals hit, and get damage done, right? So you're seeing the Immortal still pressing through, getting toward that third base. Stalker's getting low. Obviously, they got batteries to heal him up as they blink back, but Blink's going to start getting onto cooldown here, and these Immortals are forcing the issue. Does Hydra have enough? The few probes that exist run in. I mean, they don't buy a lot of time. I don't think we've got this. Do we have the Stalkers to get rid of these Immortals? I actually don't know. There's the Prism as well, right? So it can micro too and keep units alive a little bit longer. Prism now will be target fired. It's the batteries that are just too much. The Immortals will not win the fight. Mana is going to take game one. I kind of thought Hydra had a map there. I kind of thought he had a map. It took him so long to get out of the natural and just toward that third base to fight. Extra batteries came online and so on as well. Don't think that really helped. Yeah, I don't think that really helped Hydra out at all, unfortunately. We'll jump into pylon here for game number 2 of the PvP. And get this underway and, yeah, continue through this Group D. Reynor going to be playing up next as well, guys. Excited for that. It's been a long time since Reynor played in a Wardy event. I wonder how long it's been. I don't even know if he played in a Wardy event last year. But maybe that's me being pessimistic. I'm gonna search the match history. I'm genuinely curious. While we load into pylon for this second game. Reynor played the WardiTV Korean Royale last year. Does make sense. Not a single Wardy tournament in 2023 though, jeez. This guy. Unbelievable. It's been a while for sure. What's up, Slowly? Even Slowly's here. Crazy. Natalia and I are very excited about our wedding gift to you. You can absolutely go kill yourself, James. We will not be accepting the wedding gift. Ay, ay, ay. Absolutely not. You trying to get me murdered out here? That was not PG. No, I don't. That's how strong of a threat you have made to me. You made such a strong threat to me. You brought me out of character. For reference, guys, I messaged James and I was like, "Hey, by the way, just to make it clear, we're not getting you a wedding gift because then you don't have to get us a wedding gift. It's canceling wedding gifts, you know? We don't get you one, you don't get us one. You know, we don't have to put money in a card, you don't have to put money in a card." Hilaris replies, he's like, "I am going to get you the biggest and best wedding gift ever." And I'm like, if you do that, Helen is actually going to murder me. Because I said this is a very cool, chill way, and she will actually murder me because she'll feel bad. And now I'm absolutely convinced you're going to show up with, like, a freaking Charizard or something. Ay. Alright, game 2 of the best of 3 here, getting kicked off as we get this on the way. Just gonna get ourselves up and running. Ruga, thank you so much for the 13-month resub on the Prime. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. As we get ourselves a couple of Stalkers on the way out. Warp Gate building, Sentry in the Warp Gate coming up as well. We got all of that coming through for the moment. You're gonna give us floof? Ay. Stalker's hitting the hallucination. We do have obviously aggression coming in this game. Hydra has the proxy set up, so he's going to be bringing the power to mana and trying to overwhelm me here in the early stages. The Stalkers will begin to ping at the battery. Hallucination will go down. We go back and forth, so again, a little bit of back and forth at the moment. Couple Stalkers gathering up together. Sentry is about to finish. The Immortal build on either side. Two Stalkers still building and hitting that pylon. We'll aim for that, and that pylon will take quite a few hits. We get rid of the pylon, it depowers the battery, but the battery uses itself to heal up the pylon. Now that does drain the battery of energy, so you have successfully made some progress there. More stalkers warping on that left side, the Immortal coming up. Full firepower here, we knocked down the pylon, but there's another pylon powering things. The Immortal took a lot of damage here on the side of Hydra initially, but now he's got the power and he is going to break through. Mana might be in some trouble. His Immortal down. Can he save his own Immortal Hydra? If he does, that's huge because it means you still have that available. Prism on the way. New Immortal shows up from Mana. You might have to just back away from this and wait until you have a Prism to micro with. Obviously by then, some energy will be back on these batteries, which is going to be a little tough. Energy overcharge might be available as well. I like that we're kind of pressuring onto the batteries and looking to get rid of those opportunities to repair. No, save the Immortal. Goes down, but it's an Immortal for an Immortal at least. Like I say, the Prism is the next build, so that's going to be here in a moment to provide some extra micro here on the side of Hydra. A couple of deaths will not do much, but the extra Immortal will. Oh, the Adept actually lives, and that means the Stalkers took a lot of damage kind of chasing that deeper. A couple of Immortal shots that did not need to happen. Step forward again. A couple of depth in the sentries will shoot. Batteries take some damage already. Cancels coming about. Immortal taking a lot of shots as the Adept and the Stalker still firing away. Damage being done. Prism going to start warping in another Stalker. Still trying to push through. Nice force field. Going to trap the Immortal in. We've got an Immortal in the back as Hydra. He needs to bring that through. He needs to get damage done with this. Can the Stalkers of Mana pop the barrier on it? No, not yet. So that's still going to be pretty heavily kind of defended. Like I say, if the Prism available now too, you've got more potential than before. Mana's going to get a Prism of his own, so we're about to have Prism Micro Wars breaking out here as well. We step forward. We try and hit the Immortal, but like I say, the Prism Micro available for Mana is going to help him as well. And I wonder if this becomes just a Micro War that Hydra cannot really win. Oh. Ball drops back down. A couple of Immortals are going to be a little bit too strong. Those Stalkers going down as well. I think you're going to see the couple of Stalkers and try and warp in again. GG's. Mana going to take game 2 of this best of 3. Hydra will have Reynor left to play. Not a great group for Hydra so far. I mean, honestly, I thought he actually had some good chances in game 1 and game 2 of this game, though. Better than he did in the PvT. Definitely felt like there was some opportunity and some possibility there, so some fun stuff as we'll get ourselves ready to go for some PvZ. Alright guys, some videos will start up between Reynor and Hydra. We'll get those going and ready to go into the PvZ. It's ready to party. This Reynor guy is an absolute spammer. I bet he doesn't even leave the stream. I bet he's setting up to stream shit. No shame at all. Ay, ay, ay. Alright, couple of moments and we'll get this map ready. Impressive showing from Hydra. Honestly, I thought he had a good chance, like I say, in game 1 and 2, which he's the underdog of this group, you know. He's kind of meant to be the guy that doesn't win. You know, as rough that is to say, you know, it's fair to just be honest. And I think the honesty is, like, he's the underdog. And he had a genuine chance to win game 1. Or game 2, I think. Mr. Chat, SC2, thank you so much for the 6-month resub. Thanks, Wardy, for keeping us entertained and informed. Bless you. No worries, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Can you keep the stream open? Reynor, mate, you can do what you want. I'm at your mercy. You're a Zerg player playing in my tournament. You literally get to make the rules. Like, you know, we are so desperate for Zergs. You can literally do anything you want as long as you still play Zerg. No race change. Man rolls Terran. Ah! Shit. Have I commented on Firefly yet? My point the other day when he played in the Mondays is that typically I am not the person. I am a one-person thing. Typically, I just follow what other larger organizations do because I don't have the resources or the collection of information possible to make solid judgments or to make good decisions on stuff like that. Like, if he was cheating in my tournaments or something, sure. I talked to OSC, who also are one of the sponsors of the WardiTV Mondays, for example, and they said they will not be doing anything about Firefly because from their point of view, it's currently just an accusation with very little actual proof behind it. It doesn't necessarily, you know, have proof to it. Like, it's a bad accusation, but it is, you know, just an accusation still. So, yeah, I think my TLDR right now is that I'm not going to be inviting him to any events or letting him participate in any events that are like invite only, etc. But I can't really stop him from playing WardiTV Mondays because our sponsors are okay with it, if that makes sense. So, yeah. And like I said, I don't know if there's enough to necessarily just ban the guy. I mean, he's in EWC. Like, I would like to think that EWC are taking the correct precautions to check out the information, and if they make a statement and they decide to block him from EWC, we'll block him instantly as well. But I'm just a one guy kind of community channel, you know, like, I think it sucks. If it's true, then it's freaking awful, but like, I can't really do much about it, you know? Like, I could just, I could stop him playing my events, but then what if someone's like, hey, this other random guy, I sent him some money this time. He was meant to lose a matchup, and here's a picture of a money transfer. Like, it doesn't. Is it like concrete evidence? No. Does it look bad? Yes, but does it absolutely prove that something happened? No, not really. I would like to see Firefly come out and you know, actually talk about it or say something about it or, you know, respond to it at all, but he just doesn't. So I don't know, is my TLDR. I don't know, like, there's still bigger organizations in play than me. I honestly feel like it'd be nice to see someone else do something so I can just be the copycat, you know? Firefly isn't even denying it. Well, I mean, I don't know. Because all of this is happening in the Chinese scene. So it's not like it's happening, like, out on Twitter. It's not like some open Twitter beef where, like, they're going back and forth and you can see the other... Like, I've got no way to contact Firefly. So, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's a weird one for sure. What's Stefano up to these days? I have no idea. I am not an expert in StarCraft 2 Pro's current professions. Sadly. Is he cheating or hacking? The accusation is that... So Jim, who is an old Chinese pro, came out and said him and Firefly basically colluded to fix results of matches for Jim to bet on. Because Jim has become a degenerate gambler. By his own words, a degenerate gambler because he met someone in the Chinese scene that made him a gambler, and now his life is ruined. And he's blaming Firefly for losing him a bunch of money, and he's upset about it because apparently he told Firefly to lose matches and paid him for it. Then sometimes he didn't lose the matches. It's all translated from Chinese, but that's what I can take from it. So, yeah. Yeah. Like, the thing is, if this was like... honestly, it kind of almost reminds me of when Zest was accused of being a match fixer, because people are like, oh, the gambling websites keep removing Zest's matches from their website, and it's like, okay. So do you have any proof? And they're like, you know, basically, this would almost be the same as that if someone was just like, yeah, I sent some money to Zest on his stream. He has a receipt of it. Like, to me, that's kind of where it's at. Like, it's a very serious accusation, but I don't know if the proof's necessarily there to actually take action. But, yeah, I mean... like, I don't know if Jim just freaking hates Firefly, you know? He's just trying to ruin his... like, I just don't know. I'm not in a position to make this kind of call or anything, so... yeah, I don't really have anything to provide in that regard. TLDR. What's up, Photobaz? Thanks so much for the 6-month resub. Appreciate it. Let's get into it. What's Firecake up to nowadays? Yeah. Another one I'm unfortunately not... you know what? I'm going to start making a book of what old StarCraft 2 players are up to. I'm going to start researching. So that when people ask these questions, I can actually come back to you with some very good answers. Unexpectedly. I should just make stuff up. Like, oh yeah, Firecake's like the... he's a baker. He makes baguettes on the daily basis. Has anyone heard from Neeb lately? Well, Neeb went to school. Neeb went to study. He was in Korea for a little bit as well. Studying, I believe. What's Rhett doing right now? But I saw Rhett streaming some StarCraft 1 the other day. There you go. Wonder what Reyn is up to. Isn't Reyn playing Brood War as well? Holt? Holt left to be a team manager or coach for like League of Legends or something. Okay, maybe I have a rough idea about some of these guys. Very roughly. What's Dog up to? Yeah, he's literally right now in the military. At this very moment, he's commanding people around like they're Zerglings on the battlefield. What's Clem doing nowadays? Probably asleep. It's only 2 PM in France. What Goody's up to? Goody was playing some StarCraft 2 recently as well. No, I feel like I saw him on Hearthstone stream a couple of times. I mean, if you play 1 or 2 games of StarCraft 2, you're basically still an active player in my eyes. Clem was just in Coco's stream? Wow. See, what you're telling me is that Clem would go to Coco's stream, but not my stream? I'm shocked, appalled, and horrified. Does he not know how much money I've sent him over the past year as he farms my tournaments? He should be in here every single day, providing viewership and ad revenue. Oh, he is here. Shit. Fucking hell. Got called out. Right, see, this is the last thing I ever say anything. Yeah, you see, you open your mouth one time, you know what it is? It's Reynor. Reynor shows up, and I feel like I make bad decisions. Maybe this is why I don't try and invite him anymore. Jesus. Yeah. This is one of those perfect moments where you're like, Wardy, maybe you should just talk about the game, you know? Clem's also in a ladder game right now. Incredible. And the multitasking is unreal. Ling's gonna get a little grab, gonna jump on the Adept there. Just gonna be seeing the Ling's are gonna apply some pressure. I have not talked about this game at all just yet. We're having a fun day in chat, aren't we? Let's just have the Oracle and the Warp Gate coming up. The next coming through. Queen and a few drones continue to produce for the moment, so we get all of that online. Just see that Oracle going to pop out. So a couple Oracles going to gather. The Twilight Council and the Nexus building. And Hydra going to try and get himself into the next phase of the game. Very intrigued as to what Reynor's going to do. Reynor does not hold back from a lot of the aggression. He will absolutely, you know, Roach Queen walk and be aggressive. I don't necessarily think he needs to do much more in this series. He's absolutely going to be the standout player compared to Hydra. Again, we've got an underdog in this matchup, and that's just apparent. Like, there's no point beating around the bush. So you would imagine that Reynor is not going to try and drag this out into some super long macro game. I think Reynor will just say, even if a Roach walk, a Roach push or a Queen walk got like denied, I think he'd still be very confident playing out from that position after that. So I would be kind of surprised if Reynor brought no aggression at all to this series, to be honest. Blink coming about, gates coming up, a few probes on the way. Just have the melee upgrade and a few lings in the lair building up as well, so we get all of that started. Hydra done from Reynor. He could just go for like a 3-base saturation and a Roach Hydra attack as well. Also very solid, puts him in a good position. Potentially has a little less all-in aspect to it compared to like the Roach push I was initially talking about. It could also be pretty interesting, right? Same idea of maybe trying to be aggressive. I genuinely do not believe we're going to see Reynor hit like above 70 drones, so... But we will see. We will see. Couple Oracles overhead. There's the gateway. Going to drop down as well. 5 more Stalkers warping in. He's going to continue to rally up that left-hand side. I mean, I like that Hydra is having a plan to be aggressive. It's a fun position to be aggressive from as well as we knock an Overlord down. And take that out. A few Lings poise themselves on the left-hand side and maybe look at the opportunity of diving through. Stalker, Oracle going to be there. The Lings and the Hydra's going to be there to push the Stalkers back the other way. Stalker's going to get some damage out, and a few Lings begin to drop. Extra Stalkers. Still just warping in for a few moments. Going to get the rocks dropped down, which is going to just make it more difficult to walk up this ramp. Because Reynor's just cut at 64 drones, I really feel like he's going to have plenty to... well, this is not good either. I was going to say, I think he's going to have plenty to deal with this anyway. Even worse for Hydra now to take a whole bunch of damage. 20 probes go down as a few Lings break through on the run by, so Reynor gets straight in, gets damage done. The Oracles and the Stalkers still gathering up together. And Hydra's okay, GG. Yeah, kind of goes a bit wrong. Kind of goes a little bit wrong. I feel like even if the Lings didn't get in, it was going to be pretty difficult for him to see some success, to be honest. So, GG's. GG's. What's up, C-Code? How you doing? Hello, hello. Second map is Ley Lines. It's so nice that everyone's off the same server today. Don't have to do any server hopping or anything. How lovely. Dum-da-da-dum-da-da-dum. Alright, ready, says Reynor. Hydra just needs a second. No worries. We'll take the moment and we'll hopefully get that resumed. What's up, CJ? How you doing? Hello, good morning to you. Again, after this, we're going to go Reynor versus Nicoract, and then Nicoract versus Mana, and then Reynor versus Mana to round out Group D. Then we've got a couple matches in Group C coming up after that as well, so... yeah. 9 best of 3s in total. So, you know, like I said, a pretty speedy start so far. Reynor with some inspiration in the lobby chat says SDNFFDG NGGF LDO FGH FGHR, and then says to Hydra, lock in. Inspirational, if you ask me. I'll make sure you guys know exactly what's going on, because obviously maybe there's some hidden code there that I've not picked up on. Maybe something you guys can take from this. Just want to make sure you guys have all the info before this game 2 starts. What's Creighton Olsen up to? Probably having a prosperous career filled in theater and show business. You guys remember when Creighton Olsen came back for like 1-2 days to do like a random tournament like last year? That was wild. I can't remember what that was, but he showed back up for like 2 days and that was it. He was gone again. You didn't know that? Yeah. I think it was something he was predetermined to do, like like a year after. I can't remember what it was. It might not have been last year, it might have been the year before. I might be misremembering. I hope that's me someday. After my StarCraft 2 career has ended, 10 years down the line, someone's just like, we're running a $200 StarCraft 2 Cup, and I'll just pop up for the day. Cast one day of this epic $200 StarCraft 2 event and then just fade away into the darkness again. Back into my non-StarCraft life. Imagine thinking I can ever stop casting. It's a wild concept, isn't it? Yo, what's up, Fraggy Austria? How you doing? Thank you so much for the 3-month resub on the Prime. Let's go! Hell yeah, let's do it. Thank you so much for the resub. Thank you, thank you. That's how I felt when you cast the final of the Legends tournament in Riyadh. That was with old players as well. That really was like stepping through a time portal. Yeah, that really was like stepping back in into the olden days, you know? It's funny. I didn't cast any of those games. I can't remember what I did cast on that day. I feel like I casted like one semi-final or something. Did that day have... Did we do StarCraft 2 Legends and then semi-finals and finals? I'm trying to think. I can't remember what I casted. Now I'm genuinely curious. Gamers 8. This one's easy to find because, you know, they're a different name to all the other ones. I casted Solar vs. Cure in the semis. For some reason I thought it was a TVP that Cure played. He did play Cure against Classic in the, Oh yeah, so on the round of 8, we casted Harry Clem, and then we casted Solo Cure. I forgot that Solo made top 4 in that tournament. He beat Cyril. That was the most underwhelming best of 5, him versus Cyril. He just killed Cyril in like 10 minutes. Yeah, that was crazy. During going down, Dog Shrine, the Robo facility coming up. Extra brigades building through. Swole crawlers coming online. And we'll see how this Dark Shrine does for Hydra as he tries to mix things up a little bit for this game number 2. Run coming up again. Drones, Lings, and the Queen continue to build. Just going to be having the Robo Facility continue to Chrono Boost along, and the Dark Shrine building up as well. So still build that up. Pylons and the Assembly is coming online. Link chases around under the prism. Reynor's playing from Korea? No, he's in Europe right now. He is still in Europe after Bulgaria. Well, Archon's going to morph in. Over on that left-hand side, we get those ready to step on forward. A couple of spores going to relocate. Queens will gather together as well. We have ourselves the charge building up. Observer and the Forge coming through too. The Roach is in production from Reynor as he prepares a defense here against these Archons. Obviously, Lings don't really want to run into the Archons as the Queens try and get far enough forward to hit the Prism, which is scary enough for Hydra that he's going to decide to back away. And so the Prism will not stick around, those Archons will not stick around to do more damage. This upgrade continue to come about. The Overseer coming through, a couple of drones still coming online. Again, +1 charge, both being built as the Immortal gets added as well. Yarkon still hitting the Queen. No third base still for Protoss. He's just going to send it with extra gateways, a charge upgrade, and just Immortals added in. So, looking for one big attack. It's going to be the game plan. +1 charge still coming through. Again, extra gates and the Immortal coming up as well. Let's have ourselves the Roaches going to be there to keep that Prism pushed back, so we chase that away. Spine Crawler building at the moment, so we get that Spine Crawler coming through. Roach Speed and +1 missiles coming online. The Archons trying to find a few shots they can fire. Again, trying to find another way in with that Prism, but so far unsuccessful. I mean, this is going to basically come down to the bigger attack, but this is a bigger attack that is very scripted, very predetermined, and hard to imagine that Reynor does not just have a very good idea that something is going to be coming. He's already got the missiles and the Roach Speed building, Bane Nest on the way, and currently still building units rather than building extra drones, so it does feel like Reynor has a very good read on this game and where we are at and what he needs to be doing to ensure that he's going to have the best possible time of it. This few Lings just force a step back as well. He buys you a few more seconds. That is the beauty of Reynor's play. Always has those few extra units on the map looking to just get a little bit more. Even in this case, it was only a couple seconds gained. I mean, this is still an Immortal in the back now that's trailing behind the rest and actually going to get caught away from the main fight for a bit. And we have just got a massive Roach Ravager here that's been building up for a while. Even a few Banes starting to morph through. First Force Field goes down toward the natural. Liam's going to try and stream forward. A couple of slow Banelings connect in toward the Archons. As Hydra trying to take the initiative, attacking into Reynor, but the numbers from Reynor are pretty disgusting in his favor. It's looking pretty good right now in this game 2 of the best of 3. Roaches and Ravagers still stepping through. Immortal's going to take some more damage. Sentry Stalker dropping as well. GG gets called, and Reynor will take a second game of this series, and that will be our matchup. So, game 2 of the best of 3. Reynor gets off to a hot start, and he's going to be taking on Nicoract up next, as we'll be getting into that in a few moments' time. Shout out to Hydra. I appreciate him showing up and playing today. We really did need extra players, and this was never going to be an easy group for him. I actually really thought he had some good opportunities against Mana. I'm sad he didn't get one of those games. Would have been nice to see for him, but yeah, wasn't meant to be. Alright, Reynor versus Nicoract up next, guys. So keeping the games rolling today, as you might be able to tell. We are not stopping. StarCraft 2 through and through. You like to keep the crowd entertained. Good job, Mana. You made your games were entertaining, yes. And you still got the win, so it was really a win-win from you. You're an entertainer and you got the win. Beautiful. Beautiful. I wish I could be like you. Alrighty, a couple of videos coming by. That's fantasy, incorporeal, torches. Magnatha gonna get taken out of the map pool for the moment. Alright, Stephanie coming up. Nicoract hosting, speed up the process. Get this going in a couple of moments. Ecophanism ZVT! Alright, some action starting up as there's some fun going on back and forth for a little bit. I want to get this ready to begin. In the bottom left-hand side, we're going to have ourselves the red Terran player. This is going to be Nicoract. Opening up this best of 3 against Reynor in the top left-hand side. Obviously, Reynor is a big favorite in this group. I think against Nicoract, it's a very tough matchup for Nicoract to kind of get a surprise kind of build in or anything. So I do think this is going to be tough. Like I said, I do think Nicoract could maybe upset Mana, maybe. You know, if there's a way out of this group, that would probably be it. But this one would definitely expect Reynor to come in bluns. Bluns? God, honestly, like, my brain's just like, oh, let's combine all the words today. Guns blazing, and probably fire through with a win. We'll see what happens. Bluns, yeah, I just, honestly, sometimes I don't know why they let me talk, and then I realize that actually no one's letting me talk. This is my own stream, and I make my own rules, so that's probably why. It's a recipe for disaster, to say the least. Jake on the YouTube just started playing again after a 9-year hiatus. Jeez. StarCraft 2 is a really good game to get back to. I think the best part is you can get back to it, and obviously you may not be as good as before, but there's still other players that are typically, like, you always find someone who makes a good fight for you on the ladder, right? It's always very cool. I see a lot of people that come back to StarCraft 2. The game has aged very well. Like, I still really believe, you know, looking at StarCraft 2, like, this game just looks good. You know, like, the units look good. The graphics are still very much so right there. I feel like they're a really perfect kind of place for an RTS where like they're not too realistic. They're not overly detailed. Like they're not. I feel like you get even better graphics, and it actually almost ruins the quality of being able to see what's going on in RTS. So yeah, I don't know. StarCraft really has that has a few things going for it in terms of longevity and its ability to survive. That's for sure. Couple queens, couple drones building up. The barracks and the command center coming online as well. And we'll get that barracks finished. The first marine will start. A factory goes down. Double orbital because we have ourselves the command center first opening from Nicoract. Something a little bit greedier. Going to try and take any edge that he can in these early stages. And the command center first is going to be one of those. There's not a better looking RTS out there than SC2. I honestly kind of agree. I think SC2 hits this like perfect balance of like detail. Things are very clearly, you know, most structures or units are very clearly very different to each other. Everything is very easily told apart. So they're all different enough, but they're not overly detailed that they like stand out too much or they get tiring to watch, if that makes sense, when there's tons of them on the screen. It's actually very impressive. Blizzard for a long time was the king of timeless art styles. Yeah. It's very true in this for sure. Very noticeable. Those drones are going to fix themselves, right? Yes. Taking a long way around the gas to start with, but we'll get back properly to it after. Gonna be seeing our CC, a couple of engineering bays, the Banshee coming online, so we get all of that going. A couple of Hellions heading up through the middle of the map as well, so they're gonna get up toward the top. A couple of Hellions will hit that Zergling. Zergling takes a bit of damage, some shots going off. Banshee and the Hellions still very much so coming through. Queens and Lings building up as well. Again, the Banshee in production, so I know what Nicoract is doing. It keeps them very safe, it gives them harassing opportunities. Those are things you typically do want to have when you're playing against the Zerg here, so that makes a lot of sense. Just going to see the couple of Marines that are going to go in after the Overlord, and we'll be able to get that kill so that Overlord gets taken out. Couple Queens going to stand up, the Hellions going to get turned away for the moment as well. And we continue through with this for the moment. Just gonna see ourselves the few Hellions will continue to come through. A couple of those Crypto Armies will keep on going down. The 8 Queen's gonna be there to try and fend the Hellions off. Reynor just playing into the melee upgrades for the moment, so again we'll continue through with that. Continuing to bring that along as the Hellions will crash through for a couple more Crypto Armies right here. And get a little bit of damage done. So again, decent chunk of damage being dealt. 1-1 upgrades coming about for the moment. Bringing that straight on in. What's up, Siri? Thank you so much for the 32-month resub. Appreciate it. Insert hype text here. I can do that for you if you would like. Maybe after these drones get saved from the Hellions. Oh, I think it's surrounded. It's a little bit rough. The drones gather up. A few Banshees still on the move. Hive building. 2 upgrades on the way. Combat shield coming about. We get more Marines and the siege tank continue to come around as well. Still got those couple of Banshees continuing to build and play up to that upper right-hand side again. All the way up over there. A couple of drones getting blasted. The Queen gonna get jumped on. More drones still being grabbed. We are going to see the Marines able to fight against a bunch of those Lings. Lings will be taking damage. 2 upgrades, combat shield continue to come through. The melee upgrades continuing. Infestors in the way as well. I'm just going to see the few Marines thinking about maybe going in toward the main base. Let's load back up. The Queen's going to hang about. 2 upgrades to the combat shield, still very much so building. The vehicle weapon upgrade is coming up as well, so we get that started. A couple of infestors going to go sneaking out. Obviously, again, get those added on. Really, just a lot of possibility when you've got infestors on the field. As these few Marines going to be met by Ruby units. Ooh, the fungal lands on the medevacs. That was actually, I actually feel like that was unlucky. The medevacs only moved into that fungal to pick up the Marines, and I don't even think that was Reynor's initial goal. Just the way it worked out was the medevacs flew in there, and that's what got caught. That's 20 supply down for free, and that is not the kind of trade you can take when playing against Reynor if you want to have a successful future. Reynor with the Ultra Cavern coming through too is about to get to the real kind of army comp that will just throw itself at the Terran. And a Terran who's losing units like that is not exactly going to be super well set up against it. I mean, that said, we are kind of playing an 8 racks here as Nicoract, so Reynor will not even have to throw himself into the Terran bases. He will just have to defend his own. Immediately looking to loop around, coming in from all angles. Infestors, we have any fungals available. One comes in from the right-hand side. The Infestors may die, but we just have so very much. And the Lings are going to absolutely shred. They did not even have adrenal glands. They're actually down on upgrades as well. That's just a sheer force of numbers. Numbers and the fact that obviously the surround was very good as well. We came in from pretty much all directions there to make that a pretty convincing wraparound and kill in those early stages. Hatch on the right. It's going to be getting taken out as well, so that will be killed once more as 2 upgrades. Adrenal glands kind of plane still building. The Ultralisks and the Zerglings still building up as well. We have 3-3 on the way out on the side of Nicoract, so continue to bring those engineering bay upgrades straight into play. A little bit of bio around the left side. We actually have a couple of Queens there that are going to get jumped on, and they are going to be grabbed easily, so at least Nicoract's finding something. The reality is he's going to be in a lot of trouble here. The Burrowed Infested is, I don't think, has an energy to actually drop a fungal down, but it's just clearly not needed either. Not needed at all, as the Ultras continue to dive through, and we will be able to get there. Reynor is going to take game number 1 of this best of 3. And, yeah, pretty convincing. I mean, we kind of expected it, right? It was definitely in a position where he was in a position where he could kind of play a good little bit of a setup and everything, so just played it well. Hard to really add much else. Sometimes you have a guy that is truly one of the best in the world, and he's shown it so far. Okay, so here's a thought. I just had this thought. People talk about StarCraft 3 now. You know, when StarCraft 3, what if we just had another StarCraft 2 expansion? Because StarCraft 2 is still pretty good now. Like, StarCraft 2 is missing a lot of features. But what if they just made another expansion and actually, like, maintained the game so it wasn't buggy? Could be crazy, no? Could be crazy. If only. If only. I'll load into Tokamak here for game number 2 of this series on the top right-hand side. Our red Terran player is going to be Nicoract. He is down a game in the best of 3, taking on Reynor in the bottom left-hand side of the map. Our blue Zerg. How would I call the new expansion? I have no idea. I haven't played the campaigns. I've got no idea what StarCraft's about. I just cast I just cast the 1v1 part of it, you know. StarCraft 2 Wings of Swarmoid. Nice. Introducing Fusion Races. You can now play as Terrorg or Zergos. Pick your favorite units from each race to make the new Ultimate Races. StarCraft 2 like you've never seen it before. Coming to you this summer. But I hope Zergos would be the most OP thing of all time, so Terrans could just keep on crying. Oh, our units don't work well with Zerg and Protoss units. And the Zerg and Protoss units are so good together. I can already hear the crying. It's beautiful. Wardy does brutal campaign stream. I honestly, I just don't have the interest in the campaign. I get to like the 4th mission and I'm like, eh. You know the one where you have to stand there for 20 minutes? No, I can't do it. Popper Mitch! How about that? Subbed the day we went full time in StarCraft 2. And it's just hit us up with the tier 2 for 10 whole years. 10 whole years! Isn't that just crazy? Shout out to Papa Mitch. Some love in the chat for a big resub. 10 freaking years. It's actually pretty ridiculous. Actually pretty ridiculous. There must be some of these subs which way back when I was probably like, whoa, 1.5 years, that's so cool. Here we are, like 10 years on a subscription. It's actually wild. Thank you so much, mate. I appreciate it as always. Thank you so much. Yeah, pop those Wardy hypers down. Let's get some bops moving in the chat. Let's just have ourselves the Reaper, and it's going to continue to try and threaten the Queen and the Lings here, if at all possible. Poking toward that hatchery, pulling back the other direction. Queen's going to be there to potentially zone the Reaper out, push it the other way, so that Reaper will be going out over to that right-hand side. A single Marine there is going to come chasing the Overlord for a few moments as well. Fusion core will build. Nicoract going to get that started. A couple of Hellions coming through. The Reaper going to be there as well. Queens will be there to push back the other direction a little bit. And the Marine just going to patrol in the back of that main base as well. Keep an eye on the Overlord that's back there. I like that Nicoract's doing something a little bit crazier. Going into the Fusion core, going into the potential BC opening. Definitely a little bit of fun right now. I like it. I don't think there's anything wrong with testing the waters, right? Like doing something a little bit off your, off the beaten path, something you don't go into a lot. When you know in a standard game, it's very possible that you're already going to be bested because of who you're playing against. Valkyries are coming through. The Roach are on the lag. Continue to come up for the moment. We continue to get that online. See a Queen going down. Couple Queen's going to be there. Hellions and Reaper getting pushed the other way. Still going to be having an attempt to try and break through. Obviously, with that BC coming in, we're going to get that teleport across the map shortly. Roaches and Queens gathering, the Evo Chamber coming together, just having the teleport in for the BC. Going to teleport on top of the Queens. He's going to go and try and kill these off, so we're just going to commit onto them. The Ling's going to step forward to try and play defense now. We just haven't really made it. I think Nicoract really had to get through these Queens quickly. Now, if you're going to dive the Queens, you need to get rid of the Queens so the BC can kind of continue through after. The Queens living here is a pretty rough sign, and I think Nicoract might just be in trouble already, this BC. Didn't do enough. That said, there's 2 more BCs in the way, so we're playing double starport behind this, so maybe there's a world that by killing a few Queens now, the second wave of battle cruisers actually has a lot of potential to be deadly. So there's definitely some possibility there for sure. Alien's picking around, a couple group teamers being picked away at. Spire will start. So Spire starts up, the couple BCs still building. The first BC gets prepared, and I can only imagine we're going to send this again with 3 BCs and hope that it's enough to make something happen. No third command center. We're very committed to these BCs making magic happen before Spire gets online. BC is going to jump in. Too many Queens. It's a good try. But will not be good enough. Let's have Alien's diving through for a few drones over there is neat, but I mean, this was your all-in commitment. Like I said, there's a Spire done now from Reynor as well, right? Oh no, he actually cancelled the Spire. Oh, okay. Is this potentially still playable because there's no Spire? If there's a third base, I'd almost believe it a little bit. If there was a third, I'd almost believe a little. Yeah, Reynor starts the Spire again now, so that's definitely a little bit awkward. Losing the Spire is pretty rough. I mean, he keeps you in the game then as Nicoract. So yeah, he gets the kill on the Spire. You might say I see people like thinking, was that just a waste of BCs? But like, I feel like he had to, because the moment the Spire is up and producing units, you're actually just in trouble with more BCs. And you're only on 2 bases, like you pretty much just have to go. You don't really get much of a choice in the matter. Spire round 2 here. Can we deny this one? Reynor gonna go down onto Queens. Let's pull that first BC away already. It doesn't have the damage output. Too many Queens being built at once. The Spire looks slow. It might actually get up this time around. I think we're gonna have ourselves a Reynor victory here in this game too. Fire finishes. Corruptor's on the way. It should kind of mark an end to the majority of this BC pressure. Okay, you're going to have to build some Corruptors here and there, but that really is allowable and manageable, so yeah, kind of a big deal. BC is just going to head back. I mean, obviously they don't want to be on the map when the Corruptors arrive without teleports available, so the Corruptors completely change the dynamic of the BCs, because from here on out, you pretty much just always have to fly across the map with the BCs and keep the teleport for getting away from Corruptors. So completely changes the plan of that and how that works. BCs head down the right again. Extra Corruptors and Roaches coming through. The +1 flyer attack upgrade going about as well. Still got the Magfield Accelerate upgrade on the way through. Going to try and switch this into Battle Mech. To be honest, like, I thought this was pretty miserable, but maybe if we can genuinely get into Battle Mech from here and keep a bit of harassment up with the BCs, maybe there's half a bit of hope. Losing the BC's sad. Yeah, the BCs are kind of meant to make you kind of pay units kind of consistently throughout. BC's kind of getting jumped on now. They don't have teleports away. There's no way to save them, so Scrubs is able to come straight over. They're going to knock those BCs down. Then they can start a caustic spray. Nicoract supply is going to begin plummeting, and that is going to be GG's. Reynor, 2-0, 4-0 to start off the group. You will play Mana as the last best of 3 of this Group D, but before then, you'll get Mana versus Nicoract coming up. So let's get into that one. Perfect, we'll get that started. Let's do it. I'll be just 1 minute while we get that one set up, guys. I'll be right back. I'll see you guys on the other side. Hello, guys. You know, in StarCraft 2, where you can have Counter-Strike and Battlezone FPS inside the address, so you can select any units to play. That was a game called Eximius. I think it was called Eximius. I played the sponsorship for this a few times, where one player would be like the RTS guy, and he would like play, you know, build units and stuff, and send them places, and then you could also play certain players would be like the FPS players and play inside and like play alongside those units and try and clear out other units and stuff. It was a cool concept. Just one of those mix and matches which doesn't have a good enough crossover at the end of the day, I think, is the problem. And it's very hard to make rewarding as well. It's cool when I played it, just it was never going to catch on and they went out of business. I feel like they even still owe me $100 that they never paid me. Unbelievable. From a tournament I played in. We won! I should have had a $100 bonus, never got it. Unbelievable. Scammed again. Can't really do much when the game doesn't exist anymore, can you? Top left hand side, we're going to have ourselves the blue Protoss player. This is going to be Team Liquid's Mana. And he takes on Nicoract, our red Terran, in the bottom left-hand side of Persephone for game number 1. Let's off and get this underway. A couple of SCVs going to be popping out. We look to see where we are going to go over the next few moments. Do you think this is an important one? Obviously, if you win this as Mana, you're already through the group, then you're just fighting with Reynor for seeding. But there's also a world where There's also a world where you play this and... I don't want to say it. There's also a world where I think Nicoract can win this and then kind of puts Mana into some trouble, right? Because like Mana and Nicoract are both 1-0 right now. Only Nicoract then lost to Reynor, so he's 1-1. I would say like Mana's been very good lately. Yeah, Mana's been very good lately, but I would also say that Nicoract has upset potential. I guess that's why we're gonna just leave it. Let's enjoy the games. Let's see what we get out of it. See if we get something cool. As we have the Reaper on the way. We're gonna get there. Nibbles and kills the SCV off. Nexus and Cybercore both coming up. A simulator on the way through. Reaper in the orbital, continuing to build the probe. Gonna get back out into the center of the map. Then both Nexus and Cybercore continue to just build along here for the moment. Probe coming through, factoring the reactor coming online as well. Get the battery down, so Mana looking to prepare a little bit of safety at the front door. Yeah, what's up, YongYakov? How you doing, mate? Thank you so much for the 17-month resub on the Prime. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Stalker. Gonna chase the Reaper away. I'm just gonna push that back out through to the natural, out onto the map. Fire Council will continue to produce on through, so just gonna bring that straight in. We'll getting the sentry, building along as well. And we have the Reaper actually going to successfully grenade itself into the base. Don't see that trick happen. Oh well, you see it try to be happening a lot of the games, but it doesn't work every time. This time the Reaper gets in for a bit more scouting. Not really much to be gained there, though, really. Twilight was actually on the natural anyway, so got through, threatened some workers, but units were able to deal with that. And like I say, overall, it doesn't really feel like too much of a scary prospect, all said and done. And you have the medevac marines and tanks continuing to pour out for the moment, so we continue to get there with a few more of those units just for the moment. What is happening again? Viking tank, couple of marines continuing on through. Hallucination heading down to the bottom. And a couple of marines, the Viking in the tank building. Just gonna have the Cyclone actually getting caught there. A couple of force fields going down. The Cyclone will end up being picked away at, and the marines chasing the stalkers for a couple of moments as well. The tank here, obviously this gets a little dangerous. Man, they're gonna try and micro this one. Trying to get to that Dark Shrine, which, I mean, a DT every so often into this can be very frustrating to deal with. You're one base of the Terran. If you're only on one base, then obviously you do not have a lot of scans available, which means that the DTs can cause you quite an issue. The tank already going down, now the medevac as well. Feels like Mana's just doing very well with these units without even the need of DTs. He gets the GG while the Dark Templar is still warping in, and Mana takes a convincing opening game. A very good start for Mana. Oof, that was a... That was really a bit of a convincing one. Just straight up shuts that down. Get game 2 start here in just a second. It's ready to begin. Tokamak gonna come up. Ready, GLHF. And our game 2 starts up. Let's see if Nicoract can get a bit of a better aggression build going this time around. In the top right-hand side, we're going to have ourselves the blue Protoss player from Team Liquid. This is Mana. Up 1-0 against the red Terran bottom left, Nicoract. So. Game number 2 here. Like I say, quick win for mana. Had that Dark Shrine coming in early, and Dark Shrine against a 1-base play is so powerful anyway, and it didn't even need it. The gateway units were just in good enough numbers to deal with that right from the start. Cybercore Nexus both coming up, the Reaper and the Orbital Command on the way through, and get all of that ready. Cybercore Nexus both coming up, the Reaper is on the way in. Hops down to the low ground. Another little look to see what's going on. Just going to be having the Reaper continue to go out over to the side for a couple of moments. I see the Reaper starting to hit, and a couple of probes beginning to drop down, some damage being done. Back down from the center, continue to go building, getting that up and running. Still moving to the side, Orbital Command coming up, Widow Mine on the way. It's going to be seeing the gateway going to go down to the low ground. Still got that Wolf Gate coming up as well. Couple Stalkers just going to go pushing. A little bit of damage being done. Obviously the Blink and Widow Mine Medevac. The early establishment being set up for the moment. Sunshine and the Reaper both going to go through. The probe is going to get taken down, so that probe will fall. This Hellion into the main base. Going to step by as well. Destination steps back out over that right-hand side. So again, just a little bit of a move over. Check to see what's going on. Well, Hallucination going to fight through as we do have the Medevac taking a few shots right there. So damage being dealt. Medevac pushed all the way over to that right side. Still got the Stim and the Combat Shield coming through. The +1 attack going to be a part of that as well. So I'm just going to blink down to low ground. Medevac still moving about. As the Bio units continue to gather just for the moment. Against Impact Combat Shield and +1 still coming through. The Stalkers up towards the natural. Medevac flying across. The Stalkers get there, knocking the Medevac down instantly. +1 and that Storm continue to come through. I'm just going to see the High Templar and the Nexus building up as well. And Bio gathering on the ramp here is Nicoract. Let's get a few more units pouring out for now. Again, Storm and the Charge coming up, +1 attack coming through. The Bio's getting joined up. The Stalker's joined up as well. Bio's going to go chasing those Stalkers. Get hunted. Actually, you can see the Stalker's blinking. The main base going to go after the correct tech lab there. No, he's going to go after units instead. He could have absolutely denied Stim. He could have absolutely denied Stim. Which, considering Nicoract is walking across the map, having Stim feels pretty good. You just deny Stim. It's like, okay, well, it'll be back the next time we push, but like, he's pushing right now. Man, I'm probably going to have to drop a recall here on those Stalkers, get those back. Like, don't get me wrong, he's doing a lot. Oh, the first Storm, very good. Second Storm, very good. Third Storm, oh, that's disgusting. A fourth Storm is disgusting as well. Holy shoots. That is, that is one way to win the game. It doesn't even need the recall. I mean, that's just crazy. 100% this was meant to be a recall scenario, no? Stormed his way to survival. And now all this damage that these Stalkers doing looks even better because they just keep on coming in and hitting down units. Down. Yeah. I mean, when the only defense is like 4 High Templars, you just can't walk into the Storms. It's as simple as that. You need to be able to dodge away and to make something more of it. GG's. GG's. Alrighty, guys. Alright, so we'll get Mana versus Reynor on the way. And we'll get that set up. I'll be right back in a moment, guys. I'll see you guys just in a moment for this. Welcome back, guys. As we get ready to go. Second game. Let's see what we get in the matchup that will decide first and second place in this group. Bottom left will be Mana from Team Liquid, of course. His opponent Reynor on the top right-hand side from Basilisk. As we get into game one of this best of three. We get this started. Overlord on the way through, Probe and the pylon coming up. As we get established for a couple of moments. Gateway on the way. Probe does get there to block the hatchery location for a few moments as well. To push that away over to the side. Strips coming through, Hatch gas in the pool coming up, Gateway on the way down. Let's continue to get going. And Simon go on the Nexus, continue to come about, let's just get that on the go. So I've got about a finish. Going to be seeing the next coming through. Stargate on the way up. Just going to be seeing the Queens and the Lings continue to get going as well. So we got a little bit of that up and rolling. And the Stargate very standard here as well. So far, no surprises. So just take an opportunity to get set up. I'll just be seeing the few drones continue to come about. We'll see the Oracle going to be popping. It's going to be giving you a lot of the map control here early for Manus, so that's going to be what we kind of hold on to early. Robo facility coming up, the next is coming online. We'll just have a couple probes and the Wolf Gate coming over as well. So bringing all of that through. This Overlord is going to check into the natural. Stalker going to be there to say hello, how you doing, and actually just plop that away. So Overlord will take a little bit of a beating, is going to fall. There, and additional drones coming up as the Overlord and Queen build into play. Oracle around the bottom side, just going to continue through for a couple of moments. Hydra Den building, extra gates, Robo Twilight, all continuing up. That Oracle continues up to the top side. You're going to be heading toward the third base. Queens are going to be there. Oracle will take some damage. The Hydra Den about halfway done for the moment. Just drop that Stasis Ward down, which will block the fourth on the top side. So that's going to be an important note as well. As the Templar Archives continue to come through. And again, extra gates, probes, and the Prism coming up. Stasis Ward. going to be put into place as well, as the stasis will catch just a single drone already. Temple Archives, a couple of gates, and they're ready to get that storm started, I would imagine. Oh, some Archons initially and go harassing a little bit, but if you're going to get the Temple Archives this quickly, I would imagine we want to get Storm behind it, right? So Archon drop, Storm behind it at some stage. Just the charge starts, yeah, just the Archon drop initially. And like I say, get into the next phase of this from there. So man, just looking for some harassment, looking to try and get some damage done. Reynor was very good at zoning this out when he played against Hydra earlier. We'll see if Mana can find some better openings. As the Archons here will take a chance on the 4th phase. That was delayed by the stasis initially, so it's only low HP still, and that gives the Archons a chance to get the cancel, get the drone, get the second drone as well, most likely. Not a bad start from these couple of Archons. Hydras and Queens in range of the Prism, though. Super scary moment. You do not want that Prism to go down, especially not with your other units inside, so that would be truly disastrous. Something we've got to really try and steer away from. Archons are still going huge. Couple of Hydras dropping down. Turns onto the Queen, gets the Queen. The Hydra's still going to be there to just push the Prism away for the moment. Gonna drop the recall, and that Prism will be out of there. Couple of Archons joining up. Storm on the way, charge on the way. Again, extra gateways continue to build on through. Some of that Link Hydra gathering together, and the battery building as well. Hydra's going through the middle of the map. So they also are going to go and head down to the bottom side as the storm is going to be done in just a few moments' time to get that completed. Hydra's spreading out. Stays going to catch a few Zerglings already. Just going to be having those Hydras continue to connect. Another storm coming down. Hydra's still splitting. And more storm. They're pulling back for the moment, just going to be seeing the Hydras in a good arc, and this Nexus is taking a lot of damage. I mean, Reynor just has too much, man. Mana, do we have a way to defend this? The Zealot's going to start charging through, but some Lings just got freed. Only one Archon for splash damage. The Prism goes down. The battery's about to be out of energy. We still got a scary amount of Hydras left over, and Reynor is going to take a convincing opening game against Mana. That's so far a competition. It's been a cruise for Reynor. This group has been a little bit... I mean, I think coming in, we could definitely see that this group had the chance to be potentially a bit one-sided, perhaps, but definitely has been a little bit one-sided so far, unfortunately. It's definitely going to be our next map. Get that started up. Get that underway. Alright, Persephone coming through. We get this started. Let's kick off into our second game. Bottom left-hand side, the blue Protoss player is Mana. Taking on the red Zerg. At the top left, we've got Reynor. Alright, it's game one of this best of three. As we bring our way through. You can see a little bit of Chrono Boost popping through. As again, Reynor taking that first game with pretty comfortable kind of situation. Put himself in a good position early on. I'll just follow this probe. It's going to be nibbling, trying to be a little bit of a nuisance in these early stages, trying to put a little bit of pressure on, trying to make something happen for a little bit. So just in those early stages, getting up and running. Obviously, a couple drones transferring across. Stargate on the way through Nexus building. The Adept on the way up as well. Let's just have those couple things going to go after the Proby for the moment. Yeah, Nexus will finish very soon as the Stargate's still building up. Those couple Lings will continue to chase after for a little while. And thanks to be building up, the few drones coming about, hatchery continuing through. We do have the Adept coming over to the side. A couple Lings will gather. And again, just going to be seeing the Queen hitting. The Lings are going to be there. Adept continuing to take a few shots. Going to get backed up into a corner. Adept taking a lot of hits right there, taking some real damage. So got the Ling speed, Stalker, and Warp Gate continuing to come about. Nexus and the Warp Gate continue to build on through. A couple of probes are coming online. Our Oracle going to head up into the main base here. Three drones going down. The Oracle still dealing some damage. Oh, the Ling's going to slip by into the natural. That's not pretty. We instantly recall the Oracle back. The Lings decide they want to get the Stalker more than anything else. Could have maybe gone for probes that would have stacked in the corner. I mean, the Lings can now run up toward the main base as well. Definitely not done just yet. Potential for them to continue through and to continue to cause some chaos in these opening moments. 6 workers dead. Those few Lings going around the other side. Yeah, and Rover Facility and Twilight Council continue to break into more play. Queen's gonna hit there. Oracle will take some damage. Going about, Roach Run coming through, a couple Overlords coming across as well. I'm just going to see the Oracle's going to get chased back down to the bottom side again. +1 charge, and the Immortal continuing to come through. Gates continue to build as just have the Zerglings heading around the left. Oracle's going to hang about, Lings are going to be there, a couple of those probes getting nibbled at. The Oracles continue to come over. As the Adepts after the Zerglings as well. Again, Prism charge and +1 still coming through for the moment. Sling's going to catch a few of the Zelds that are trying to come across the map. We've got a Spire building up as well, currently about halfway done. Extra Roaches building through as well, so 10 Roaches, Missile Upgrade, and the Roach Speed all building. We have the Revelation dropping down. Mana showing up with the Zealot Immortal, of course. I mean, it's going to make a good bid for this hatchery, which will just get cancelled, but then we have a hatch in the top right already coming up from Reynor, so that's not a crazy cancel just yet. Can we push through with this for more damage? The Spire's on the way, so eventually, you know, if you could punish him for kind of trying to go to Spire right now, that would be great. Obviously, Prism should be able to keep the Immortals alive. We warp in Zealots to fight against these Zerglings and try and make a trade happen. The Roaches here in decent enough numbers. There's nothing to really shoot down the Prism, so the Prism for the moment will be safe to just evacuate the Immortals at the best possible time as Mana tries to find value for these units. But, like I say, that's Spire completed. Reynor doesn't have a lot of gas. Does he already start up some of the Mutalisks? Yes, he started up 5, so he actually already has 5 meters coming into play there. A couple of Roaches coming through, Queen, +1 missiles, and the Roach Speed coming about as well. Still those Oracles around the right side as we just have the Ling Roach going to get underneath. The Prism moving off to the sides there. Temple Archives, Gateways continue to come up. Those Zealots and Immortals going to go and push those units back the other way once more. Still got the Temple Archives ticking along with the gates in production and Mana trying to get to a better army comp, but the meters going to slide down the left side of the map. Could be a bit of an issue. One's going to fire, hitting that hatchery. The Prism turned around! I don't know what I don't know what he misclicked there to turn around for half a second, but because it was in the acceleration zone, it zipped toward those Queens. And that all goes down. Stalkers fighting back, about 12 probes going down as well. It is still moving about. Going to dive into this mineral line here for a few probes as well. Going to jump on in over there. Roaches and the melee upgrade coming online. The Baneling speed still coming up too. A couple of Phoenix hitting said meters. As I continue to put some pressure out, the meters still taking some good damage. Just going to see the Phoenix firing away. Meters taking hits. Stalker's going to fight against said Mutalisks once again. This is rough though. That's a lot of probes going down. At this point, if Reynor just surges with Roach Ravager, the damage he's done might just let him overwhelm with the army on the ground. He's already here with the Roaches. Now the Ravager's showing up as well to make this even tougher. Plus through attack. We'll finish up in a moment, and that is just going to be GG. Reynor takes it 2-0 over Mana for first place in this group. This was truly a group of just... It was just a group of expected results, I think, at the end of the day. I thought Mana against Reynor could be interesting. I thought Nicoract Mana could be interesting. I actually think the closest games we got all day were Mana versus Hydra. Crazy stuff. Crazy, crazy stuff. Alright guys, well we're not done yet because we actually do have the Group C games to still cast, so it's a good thing we saved some of them, isn't it? Otherwise, we really wouldn't have had anything to do here. So we're going to get the other matches played out, so we'll save MaxPax Spirit to the end, because I think that might be the most important one. But we also have MaxPax YoungYakov and Cristiano versus Spirit, so let me get that going. Alrighty, and the other one was Cristiano Spirit. Alright, so we're going to jump into the Group C matches from the other day that we didn't do. Like I say, we kind of cut that group in half. So I'll just run some ads, we'll get those games ready. These ones are from replays, they were played the other day as mentioned, so these are just replays to move us through. Where do I want to be? I'll just pop them in here, I think. I know what, I'll make a new folder. Makes more sense. I clicked the wrong button. Whoops. Alright, so yeah, I think we'll save the, I think let's save MaxPax Spirit until last, just because that has the most likely chance of potentially being the deciding match between first and second place. And then we'll just do them in the other order. So, I mean, Yakov's 0-2. We could do Yakov. No, let's do Cristiano Spirit, because then the PvZ will break up the PvTs. Let's do that. So, yeah, let's do Cristiano Spirit, then Yakov versus MaxPax, then MaxPax versus Spirit. We're going to do it in that order. So, Cristiano versus Spirit game 1 is going to be on Persephone. Let me invite everyone in. And we'll start getting this ready to go. Alright, let's get this started off. How come Group C played minimal games? We're literally about to cast the rest of Group C right now. That's what you're joining into. Yeah, we just cut that group in half so we could have 2 better days of streaming rather than 9 best of 3s. Just makes for a better length stream than 6 best of 3s. So, yeah, it means that we just get to keep going a little bit longer. So, there's a little bit of niceness to that, for sure. For sure. Alright, one moment guys, we'll get this started. Let's go into Persephone. Let's get this underway. Sorry, just getting something fixed, guys. Just have to fill out a form quickly. Apologies. Alright, let's get into Cristiano versus Spirit. This is going to be a best of 3 PvT. Again, we'll do Cristiano versus Spirit, and then we'll do MaxPax versus YoungYakov, MaxPax versus Spirit. Those are the last 3 best of 3s we'll have for you guys today. And then we'll have the drawing for the bracket, and we'll have a look to see what our bracket is going to look like for the competition. So, obviously, playoffs are just going to be tomorrow, so that's just going to be a one-day playoffs. Sunday will be our European League qualifier. Monday, WardiTV Mondays once again is everything that's taken place. So yeah, on the bottom left-hand side, Cristiano will be the blue Protoss, while in the top left of Persephone, our red Terran player is going to be Spirit. We get into game number 1 here and have a peek to see what an initial inkling of what's about to happen is going to be. Probe just coming on through, heading into the main base, a little bit of a scout around to look to see what's up for a few moments. Again, orbital command Marine on the way through. We had the Nexus on as well. That probe just comes out to the front. The Marine continues to build for now. We get that underway. The SCV pulling out as well, just coming straight on through. As the SCV will nibble at the probe, drops down the command center. And again, Cybercore, Assimilator, and Nexus all building up for now. Marine does just chase that probe out of there, so probe gets pushed out. Well, nothing too crazy, but this probe does head to the top right, which suggests maybe we're gonna, hide it away, maybe the pylon, maybe a gateway, maybe some aggression from this a bit further down the line, so kind of eyes on the probe for that. As our Marine comes out first, there's nothing to watch kind of going across the Protoss side of the map. No scouting from Spirit. Doesn't even SCV scout early, so going to play a very risky kind of opening. And yeah, really is just going to try and get away with something here for a little bit, if nothing else. As, yeah, Alan is indeed going to come up, so Cristiano will go for that, and we'll see what that could potentially lead us into from there. As we just have the Twilight Council probe still on the way through, bringing all of that along. Starport coming up as well. So Adept is going to head to the upper side. Shitting in towards the main base. A few Marines are going to sit up there. Another Marine on the way through. Cyclone, a couple more Marines coming about. The Dark Shrine Gateway, probes and warp gates in production. Those few Marines there to keep the Adept at bay. There's going to be the Dark Shrine and the Gateway proxy. So that is where Cristiano is going to try and mix up this game right from the very get-go. Put some pressure on with the aggression, with the Dark Templar. Try and get himself a sneaky little advantage in these early stages. So it's going to be Cristiano's plan. Getting a couple extra gates going through. The Dark Shrine very much so on its way for the moment. Cyclone will catch the Adept right here. And that will go down. So Cyclone gets that catch. Dark Shrine and a couple gates continue through for the moment. And the Marines and the Medevac will head down the left-hand side. So we are just going to be zooming across. Medevac going to go dropping. And Cyclone and a handful of Marines all gathered together, head toward that main base and see what exactly we can do. I've got a couple of Stalkers warping in. The Adepts here as well, going to be a good buffer. Honestly, Adepts kind of absorbing the Cyclone shots is pretty nice because it gives the Stalkers a chance to step forward without being in danger. I think you're fine losing an Adept, losing a Stalker is a little bit more expensive and costly in general. Just DT warped in, and Cristiano's going to begin to make his way across to the left-hand side. So here we go, looking to make something happen here for the next few moments. Into the natural and toward the main. He's going to swipe one Marine so he can get into the main base. Reveals the DTs a little earlier than expected, perhaps, but now going to be in the natural and main base. There's no scan available. Oh no, Spirit. He's going to be losing army. He's going to be losing SCVs. He is very likely going to be losing this game because these DTs are not going to be answered for such a long time. First scan available in a moment. What can we kill? Can we get 2 DTs with 1 scan? That would be ideal. The answer is no, we cannot, so only 1 DT initially dead. Raven is building, by the way, so we do at least have that coming out the starports. That is a bonus. That will help us to clean up the rest of these, maybe without further scans. But 12 SCVs down, a lot of lost mining time as well, I think is very noteworthy. There's DT in the corner. Just going to try and go for the deeper before the units get across to kill it, but that should be unlikely to happen. And that Dark Templar will fall. That was kind of a wild few moments for sure, as the blink continues up. The gateway is on the way in. Cristiano, good start. 20 worker lead from that. Army supplies about half of his opponent. He did kill some units, but not too many overall, I guess. He got himself a tank and 6 Marines. I honestly thought he'd have gotten a few more kind of army units in there, so there is an opportunity for Spirit here on the counterattack to maybe get something done, but he's pretty committed. Like, he's building SCVs behind this, but he needs damage. He needs to do something in these next few moments, for if he does not, he really is going to end up in a position where he just does not really benefit. He does not end up in a good enough position at all, so yeah, he kind of needs to come across this map and, like I say, make something happen. A Stalker warping in, the units are stepping forward, and Gateway at the front there already in some trouble, taking some hits. Blink is about to finish. A little bit of an ugly fight from Cristiano, kind of walking into tank shots, then blinking across to kill one tank. The other tank very much so still alive. More Stalkers warp in. We've got plenty of gateways. Typically here, Cristiano just needs time. I think we're kind of getting to the point where he's already getting enough warp-ins to make this serious. He's already shutting down reinforcements. Another round of Stalkers would be big, but he's supply blocked right now, so Cristiano actually facing some issues already. There's the interception on the reinforcements. That is big. Getting rid of a new siege tank, making sure a second tank doesn't get to come in over here. And like I say, really slowed down by these supply blocks. Even then, he's got a kind of a lack of gas. Might have to just warp in Zealots rather than Stalkers. We are going to get that siege tank at least, but it's still a messy dive in from Cristiano. Not clean at all. Don't get me wrong, Spirit's supply is kind of heading in the wrong direction, but I think it's fair to say that, you know, like I say, it's not being clean from Cristiano in the sense of every time he goes for a tank, he loses a chunk of Stalkers. It's just he's done a very good job otherwise and did a great job with the DTs to put himself in a winning position anyway, to the point that this attack has not meant much at all here for Spirit, and it looks as though GG will be called and he will be taking a loss on the opening game. So Cristiano actually going to get the opening game off of Spirit in the best of 3. Like I say, sneaky little Dark Shrine is going to be extremely successful. Spirit's preparation for that was, I think, fair to say, almost non-existent, basically. It was pretty rough, to say the least. As we ready ourselves up for a Game 2, we're going to be going into Pylon. Forecasters all day? I think so, right? You guys probably don't know. I'm gonna believe we've had 4 all day. Let's go into Game 2 of Cristiano and Spirit. In the top left-hand side, our blue Terran player here will be Spirit, taking on the red Protoss. In the bottom right, we have Cristiano entering game number 2 of this best of 3. Cristiano having that 1-0 lead. Like I say, DT's really set the standards for that game up early. And yeah, it got a little scary. Like I say, the push of the Terran still had to be dealt with. And it did have some power behind it. So, like I say, it was a little bit scary, but we got it under control. We handled it. We handled it well. And that is defense made, and on we go. Getting the assimilator coming down. Spirit went for no SCV scout last game. So far it's going to be true again. For now it's just that probe of Cristiano poking into the other side for information gathering. I don't think it was, I mean, no SCV scout isn't what kind of missed him, the scout on the Dark Shrine hidden in the corner, right? So that wasn't the problem for Spirit. It's not like he's just going to blindly enter the same issue a second time around here. Orbital Marine both coming up, Cybercore and the Nexus on the way through. Assimilator still building. Probe in production. And the SCV just going to be out there, nibbling at that probe once again. Heading down to the south. Factory reactor coming up, CC and the refinery coming online, SCV in production as well. We have the Nexus, the probe, and the Adept continuing to produce on through. So again, getting all of that underway just for the moment, and all of that settled in. As the Adept is going to keep on Corona boosting. Stargate building, Nexus on the way. Being added on. Adept just going to shade out down to the low ground. Stargate is half done. As the Adept still shading. Going up to the top. And again, the warp gate not far from being finished here. Command Center and our Starport both building up. Starport's halfway done currently. We have the CC finishing. The Adept will not be able to harass too much. The SCV jumps out so we can start to morph in the orbital, of course. It's a priority. You want to get that orbital online, get it gathering energy. And with the Hellion out especially, this Adept really does not have much hope for getting much else done. Fortunately, it will not be caught at all, as woohoo, we're lagging in a replay. That's always a fun one. Is it me? No, it's one of our alternative language streamers. Gonna disconnect from this game too. Really is nothing like disconnecting from a replay. Always one of the classics of StarCraft. Alright, let's get back to it as the Adept takes a few steps back. The Adept going to come forwards and just try and step up a little bit. The Oracle on the way, a couple of gates being built. Twilight Council still very much so on the way through as well. Now is the Banshee going to start producing here on the side of Spirit? So you'll get into some Banshee harassment. And obviously Banshee's a great unit in this matchup because not just great for harassing, but also a lot of potential to get across and to go and deal damage as well, and be a part of your army to kind of add some damage output there too. Especially in the early armies, there's a lot of potential on those Banshees. They do really hit hard. The Oracle that shows up for the first couple of SCV kills. Gonna be 3 in total. Not bad for an Oracle in a PvT. Gets out of there comfortably as well, only losing shields, so going to be very healthy once the shields regenerate as we go proxy gateway once more. Cristiano again looking to get some aggression in early in this PvT. Oracle down at the bottom, just going to be seeing the blink still chrono boosting. More Storks continue to get warped in right there, so just bringing those across and into play. Stalkers are going to try and poke through. Banshee actually going to cloak up and just start putting damage onto these Stalkers, because if there's no detection here, then these Stalkers are going to have to turn away, otherwise they're just going to get beaten up by a single Banshee. A little bit awkward at the same time. Banshee across the map is going to go for 6 probe kills. This one's going to get forced over to the corner. The Oracle coming back over here to Revelate is what gives the other Banshee coming through. Stalkers continue to step up. Oracle still coming about again. The combat shield and the stim continue to come through as well. Oracle is going to go flying into the main base. Cyclone gets the lock on. Oracle going to take some shots. Is going to get turned away. Oracle very nearly going down. But That's what the Oracle's kind of there for, getting away, just about surviving. That's the benefit of not letting it go low earlier, that you can have a bit of HP to play with in moments like this. As you thank you, by the way. K-Steel 88, Prime for the 10 months. Thank you so much. Stalkers can get turned around. Tank shots are good to keep those Stalkers at bay. Still having the Stim Pack, Combat Shield, and the +1 attack upgrades building for the moment. So, again, once that finishes up, Spirit's going to have a much fiercer force to get onto the map with. Temple Archive's coming, and that probably is going to be the lifeline of Cristiano a couple of minutes from now. Can he get some storms? Can he get something that can help him fight off the Bio army? She gets in there and makes a grab. Going to be seeing just some bits and bobs going down. Depot, a few Banshees have been killed in this game. 4 more probes just went down too, but let's watch these Stalkers for the moment, because they're thinking about a way to maybe make something happen, but we're going to lose another. How many Stalkers we lost? Just 3, so not too bad. Really, the damage is in the probes that have been lost throughout the game so far. That's where the issue really comes from currently. Cyclone lock on there onto the Phoenix. Put a Mine Burrows up. It's going to be next to that gateway. Stepping down to the bottom. I've got the rest of the Bio coming through. Stalker's going to escape away for the moment. Next is going to begin taking damage. A couple of those Stalkers absolutely getting shredded, as they just do not have a way to step away from the Bio. Finally, Zealot's showing up. Bio has to busy themselves with that. The tanks can still target fire Stalkers here. Medevac's going down as well. As that is going to be Cristiano. Actually, getting a very good cleanup overall. So Spirit gets completely shut down and pushed back. It's a little bit surprising. Storm on the way up. Next in the Robo Facility coming through. Cristiano in a great position, up 12 workers. Army supplies equalizing. Now going to get himself a chance to get to Storm very comfortably. And Spirit is just now trying to push towards 3 bases, but his third may not be able to land because these Stalkers are going to be here pressuring, and Spirit just lost so much, so it could be a big issue. And Storm and the +2 still coming online. Robo Facility, Nexus, Zealots all being brought in as well. Left side, Storm's going to get in. It's going to get a couple of picks. Still got the +2 attack. Still got the Storm producing. Robo Facility, Nexus continuing to come online for the moment. And again, Ghost +1 armor and the Concussive Shells building as well. Stalkers coming up the left, Bio going to be right there. Stalkers get turned around, so not much you can really do on that one. As again, the Ghosts, the armor, the Concussive Shells all coming up. Just going to see that +2 attack. Still Corona boosting on the Forge. The Marines going to go chase the Oracle down for a little bit. Focus around the bottom, just going to be settling in. So charge. Marines get pushed away. High Templars obviously going to be daring forward. They would like to get their storms off. Spirit does have some ghosts, so EMPs are available. Those High Templars are super stacked right now. The EMP could actually put an end to a lot of the potential splash damage from Cristiano, so maybe that's an opportunity we have right there. Scan ahead. We actually dodge away from the storm from the leading High Templar. Saving the energy right now on those ghosts, yet to really do anything with them. Are we going to see an EMP? A light little split forward of a few units, pressuring the High Templar in the front. Is forced to rejoin the army and just stops it from lingering around, threatening the bigger storms. Storm is going to land. We're going to see a stim from Spirit. Actually pretty much out of energy right now. The High Templars did get EMP'd in the end. And we do have no more storms available, which allows Spirit to make a hold on this location. His third base will survive, and Spirit going to take a swing back into the supply lead of this game after Cristiano took that supply lead a little bit earlier on after Spirit was attacking. So far, this has been a game of the attacker really falters and fails. Not exactly ideal. The Bio pushing down, Stalkers will take damage again. Stalkers and the High Templars gathering up. Just going to see the Bio continuing through. Just going to push. Stalker's going to take damage. High Templar Gonna get jumped on as well. Storm will come back through the other side. Both gonna charge into the mineral line. SCVs begin to take damage. I mean, Spirit on the natural has already knocked down the natural in its entirety. That's a much better Storm, but is that the last Storm we have? I think so, in which case, okay, one high temper from the right. Does that have energy? No, it's freshly built, so it has nothing on it. Don't get me wrong, Spirit's obviously taking damage himself. His army has been whittled down by the storms that have landed so far. Firefighting, Zealot's taking damage. Couple of Zealots going down. Marine Marauder medevac still building through. Storm is going to just land onto a couple of those Marauders. Couple of Colossus still just popping on through. The couple of Ghosts are building up as well. And that still pop out bio. Down to the top, gonna hit that warp gate. I mean, at this stage of the game, where are we really aiming for? I mean, Spirit just has so much army. Cristiano trying to rebuild a Nexus. I kind of like the Colossus because I feel like if there's a way for him to win, it's kind of getting some units up that Spirit might not have an answer to, and I do think the Colossus production is your best possible chance of finding something in that regard, so kind of down to see that coming into play, because otherwise Stalkers continue to just wander about. A few units coming up as well, a few Zealots on the way in, +3 attack starting. Top of the map, these Zealots are going to come charging through. They'll find themselves an SCV on the center tower, into the mineral line. SCV's in trouble. +3 attack and a couple disruptors still popping out. On this bottom right side, we're going to get a big drop into the main base. And again, Spirit just continue to be aggressive with this group of units, and again, forcing Cristiano to respond back at home rather than having the chance to, you know, really focus on the other side. And it's just Spirit basically dictating where the fights are going to happen. He started to move to the bottom. Cristiano already recognizes that this is just not going to go in his favor at all, and so decides he'd rather just jump on out, head to a game 3, and try his luck there. So that's exactly what Cristiano will do. And we'll see if Spirit will bring him misfortune, good fortune. Let's take a quick ad break here, guys, and we'll be back in a moment. I want to go grab a drink. Yeah, I'm going to go grab a drink. I'll be right back, guys. I'll see you guys in a few for game 3 of Cristiano and Spirit. Alright, sorry for the delay, guys. Just had to grab a drink and stuff. Let's get ourselves into game 3 of this best of 3 between Spirit and Cristiano as we kick this off. Get this underway. In the top right hand side, our blue Protoss player is going to be Cristiano. Taking on the red Terran in the bottom right Spirit. Cristiano had some good moments in that last game. Thought he had some good opportunities. And he just never really came to be. He kind of whiffed a fight on the other side that brought Spirit back into the game. And reset things a little bit, so... a little unlucky. But that is the way of things. Get this third map up and running. Let's see what Torches has to show us. Given a little bit of time. Is it hot here? Yeah, it's warm. I mean, I'm in the north, so it's not like hot. But it's definitely hot for like England. Definitely hot for England. It's 23 degrees right now, which is very nice from where I live. Like, you know, it gets warmer than this like a few times a year. So yeah, it's not really hot. Like I say, it's not really hot because you say hot in a global stream and it's not really. It's just warm, if that makes sense. I'd say more warm than hot. How about that? If that makes sense, that good compromise. You guys are probably sick of me talking about it. Probably doesn't matter that much. It's not that big of a deal, Wardy. No one cares. Probably moving about. Going back over to the center. Nexus, Cybercore both coming up. Probe on the way. Orbital and the Marine coming online as well. Let's just see the commands that are dropping down. The Orbital is still building through just for the moment. It's 33 where you are. See, this is what I mean. Like, yeah, for England it's hot, but like, you know, there's places that are like casually just 10 degrees higher than us. So, yeah, maybe in like the south it's a bit warmer as well. But yeah, North England, it's nice for where I am. It's nice for where I am. Oh, reactor on the way up. Add a factory on as well. We get it rolling as the Nexus and a couple pylons coming through. Gonna proxy one pylon down this left-hand side. So Cristiano has a little bit of trickery coming into mind for himself right now. Get that up and running. So a little bit of a plan from him as we drop the probe facility down as well. Get that straight into play. A couple probes. Warp gate coming up. We get that all started. And the Adept going to be joining in with that as well. So just going to see all of that coming through for the moment. And Starport and the Tech Lab coming online. Spirit did expand high ground and is now going to move to the low ground as the forward robo of Cristiano comes online. This could get pretty wonky, right? Because Spirit's going to expand. Cristiano has an expand behind it, but obviously you're absolutely looking to apply pressure from this, so could turn into a pretty fun situation here. Game 3, important match. Realistically, this could be the kind of match that decides who advances from this group and who does not heading into the playoffs, so definitely some possibility there. The Immortal Chrono boosting out of the Robo for the moment. Cyclone steps in at the front. We do have the lock onto a Stalker. The Adept going to fly it back in return. Stalker's going to die, no? Goes down immediately. Immortal popping now. Cyclone gets killed. Just going to have ourselves the Adept and the Immortal pulling back over towards the Natural. As a few Marines and the Medevac gather together. The Warp Prism and the Warp Gate still very much so coming online. Tank and Marines in production. Also, the fire. One SCV goes down. The refinery gets popped. The Orbital Command going to be taking some shots. SCVs and the tank gathering together. Tank shot good onto a couple of those Adepts. You do see the Marines, the Viking continuing up. Twilight Council building up in the main base also. Marines just kind of wander in. So Spirit gives up the Natural, but he's going to get in for some damage on the main. Forces a recall too, which means he can retake the Natural for the moment. Because everything just recalled back the other direction, so he can get back to the low ground, stop those SCVs from wasting time. Right now, there's no mobility in this army. The Prism is the best thing we've got to move units around quickly. So the drop onto the natural after being in the main is actually highly effective. 8 probes in total going down. We lost a few more Marines there than needed. I think we could have saved a few more in the medevac. A little misclick or two from Spirit, but understandably, he was kind of being chased. I understand that that becomes a high-pressure moment. It becomes a little bit of a funky one. That Robo still sits poised on the left-hand side. A couple of Marines in a medevac down the left are going to unload onto the healing shrine. And hey, why not make use of it? The medevac going to get full HP as well. Fortress healing shrine does not get used a lot, but honestly, drops and stuff like that should absolutely take advantage of it. Things that do not need to maintain a position all of the time are not heavily punished for being out in a kind of a weird place on the map, which is what that is on Torches. That far left side does not get used a lot. I'm really looking forward to the game, by the way, that it will inevitably end up happening, where there's like base here, and we're fighting around this healing shrine. I cannot wait for that late game because it's going to be absolutely nutty. It's going to be a lot of fun. A few Marines going to go after the probes, so you do have to liberate the main base as well. Just got shot down. One managed to target fire down a couple of workers. I think actually only one worker, so better defense from Cristiano. He starts to slow down some of this aggression. Marines are going to step forward and just deny the Robo, though, which obviously is very good because removing the tech is never going to be a bad thing, to be put simply. Tanks will siege, Marines will fire. Viking right there, going to zone the Prism back the other direction. Pylon and the Robo both dropping down. Back around the right, and a few Marines will begin to unload on toward those Stalkers, so damage out over there. And Storm coming up, +1 attack coming through. Obviously, Storm going to be the real kind of question mark of can we do significant damage with that. Storm has been, I would say, one of the main villains in PvT lately. Definitely been the upgrade, the spellcast that has been extremely effective a lot of the time as we see this Prism escaping away around that right-hand side. So, keeping that pressure up, I like it a lot. Here on the side of Cristiano, continue to do a good job of that. You can see the Storm and Blink both building. Battery on the way, Pylon on the way. Orbital Command and a couple more Widow Mines still building through. Marauders, Stimpak Combat +1. Again, a little bit of everything continuing out for the moment. The few Marines on the left side are going to come stepping in. Probes already going to get dropped down there. Again, Stim Combat and +1 upgrade coming through as well. Prism still moving back across. I love his consistency again, just persistence with the units, trying to find damage, trying to find opportunity again and again and again. So we'll take a few more shots of damage. Stim Combat and +1. Continue through for the moment. Still got that blink, still got that +1 attack. Continue to come by for the moment now. There is going to be the Zalsk. It's going to warp in on the third base. Medivac's go boosting away up the right-hand side. It's just going to go out and across for the moment now. Head into the top. Apply some pressure. And the Stalkers are really sticking at it, but the siege tanks here, there should be no way for you to realistically get in range of this one, so at the same time, we're going to have to respond to the fact that we're dropping in. Recall used immediately. It's going to be a lift and leave. Marines here actually find a couple of probes that began to long distance mine. But 9 minutes in, and Cristiano obviously trying to get toward a fourth base, but not able to yet, so that's great for Spirit, who is slowing his opponent down a little bit more than they would like. That said, the third of Spirit's only just recently dropped. It's going to play around that right-hand side, and maybe that right-hand avenue of attack is going to become very important here in the next few minutes. Still losing probes, they're just running into trouble. Bigger drop in the main base this time. Try and drop a Storm. Honestly, it wasn't super well placed because there's only a couple of units out. Second Storm was better. Even then was not ideal. At the same time, we're also dropping into Zealots, which is also not really ideal, to say the least. Marines up here have to lift up, pull away. Medivac coming back across. Rest of those units still very much so gathering in as Medivacs head over toward the left and then decide to pull it back. +2 attack, just Chrono boosting away on the Forge still for the moment. Marines will get there. Zealot goes down. On the right hand side, some of the Stalkers going to get hit by Widow Mines. Tanks continue to play through, good damage being done. Going to see the Bio continue to go the other way, and Zealots continue to take big hits. Another couple storms going down. This army really trying to chase in. I mean, eating a lot of storms. There's just so much Terran that the Protoss is going to fall apart in the end. I love chasing the Stalkers before turning back around and get the guaranteed kills on the Archons. Before they even morph in, they don't even get to do anything. One took a single step and then died. And that is Cristiano losing a lot of supply of units right there. And Spirit definitely going to take an advantage here in this game 3. He'll be able to start coming across the map and putting some pressure on again. Stalker's going to come through. Widow Mine's taking damage. Bio and the Medivacs coming across as well still. Making that push up to the top. Engineering Bay, Armory, a couple of Ghosts coming through. One more Storm onto a couple of those Marines. Still trying to reach a High Templar there, but not quite able to just yet. Bio going to come across. Making its way around. That group of Zealots over here kind of lingering for a surround, but they're going to get figured out and found out. So they will not get very far. They get pushed away and denied as well. Take a chance to dive in on the right and get rid of a tank, I believe. And you're working with so little here as Cristiano, it's hard to kind of make it look good, but he does have a few storms. That's enough to kind of scare the Terran into backing it up and splitting, which maybe gives the Zealots a chance to fight. I'm afraid about a finish from our Terran. It's going to be 1-1 +2. So Cristiano having an attack upgrade lead while he will have no armor upgrade at all. A little bit of a shame, right? Because the armor is usually so good on the Zealots, so missing that is a little bit painful for sure. Medivacs again, thinking about that drop in toward the main base. Spirit's been looking for that multiple times over and multiple different points of this game. And it's obviously been in position a couple times with it. This time actually gets onto the natural. Some Liberator support going to hit the mineral line. And going to zone any units coming in from the left-hand side. Going to put them into immediate danger. Fire still stepping up. A couple of Stalkers getting chased away. Probes will get there, trying to fight off a High Templar. 9-10 probes going down. Going to see a little bit of the Zealot Stalker still giving chase here. And still trying to hunt down a few final units toward the tail ends. Just continue to push that back. We're going to continue to sit and just hit onto a whole bunch of this army and work a line. It does feel like Cristiano's bleeding out. He is, to be fair, trying to maintain... yeah, he is trying to maintain, like, control and not just give it up. And he's got storms and he's been able to kind of push back the units a little bit, so I understand the play from Cristiano. But things are looking dismal for him. He needs a couple of good fights. He needs a couple of good trades. He needs a couple moments where, most likely with the way the game's going, he needs Spirit to make a couple of offensive plays that he shuts down easily and kind of steps back into the game a little bit on the back of a couple of good trades like that. Catching Medivacs as they try to enter a base full of units, for example, or just like a couple of drops that get outmatched in both locations. Because that's the kind of game Spirit has been playing. The super active, I'm going to be everywhere, keep on dropping you kind of harassment game. So that kind of feels like that will be where the opportunity is to get back in from Cristiano. Now, as I've gone on this whole spiel, here we are with actual reality of this, which is that Spirit's actually kind of gathering up for a larger army. So maybe it's not going to come down to that. Maybe we just have to try and find a convincing fight in a scenario where you just have a worse army. Like I say, you are going to have Storm. Your opponent has a ton more units, and he's got ways to deal with Storm as well. Obviously, then it does just come down to how you engage and how that fight goes. I like the Colossus, the kind of thing which, again, maybe there's not quite the preparation for Colossus. Maybe they can make a difference if they can sit in the back of a fight. But we're completely out of position here as Spirit walks into the natural. It dies. High Templar sniped. Zealots walking into Widow Mines. They try and run up this ramp into it, which is amazing. Again, Widow Mines are great when your opponent has to run into them. So being in position, your opponent being out of position, then having to come into position to defend, lets those Widow Mines shine. The Stormers have been good, but Cristiano's down another 14 workers. a bunch more army supply, and now it's a significant 70 supply difference. Double army supply for Spirit, 20 worker lead, and Spirit is cementing himself a 2-1 victory in this series, it would seem, because Cristiano, I'm not sure if he can really break out of this right now. Comeback potential is dropping off with the less supply that he has before. Felt fairly doable. Now, not quite so much. I mean, the Disruptor's a good Hail Mary play. Pros typically have a couple of Hail Marys, DTs, and Disruptors, so yeah, I guess it is that kind of stage. You know, before it was like, well, I have an okay-ish army supply, maybe Colossus can kind of be something he doesn't have an answer to and that can turn things. Now it's, I need something that can trade against a massive units for free. And that basically is a Disruptor. One big shot into the center of the Marines or goes... Even if it's also, the Disruptor can also buy you time. So the other way to look at it is if the Disruptors can buy you time, well, your opponent is maxed out. If you're buying time, you will get closer to maxing out and having a more competitive army. So the Disruptors really kind of fill both roles there, which is they are time buyers and also, like I say, the Hail Mary, like, can we just get back in the game anyway without having to kind of play along? This keeps happening. Spirit just walks up and then takes this ramp up into the natural. Meanwhile, Cristiano's like out to the left, protecting the upper left bases, which is where the majority of his mining is, so it's understandable he's out over there. So, yeah, he's out of position for good reason. Well, this is interesting. Spirit does not have a lot of room to split, and he's going to dive into the Disruptors. He denies most of them. A couple shots go off. The Colossus will melt. Spirit is going to clean up everything, and the Disruptors do not get the job done. Disruptors having to attack into the Terran is never fun. I thought because Spirit was backed up in a corner, maybe they had a chance, but he just dove on them. He had so much stuff. He was not afraid of the rest of that army, and that's the problem. It's like you're missing pieces there. You know, as Cristiano, you're behind. You're missing some pieces to truly turn this game into something which was, you know, going to be playable again. And that's why Spirit is just going to be able to take a very good trade and win out. Cool. All right, so that's the Cristiano Spirit series, guys. We're going to go into MaxPax versus YoungYakov next. We'll run ads now, and then hopefully that means you don't have to do any ads between the games unless we get a really long one. And then we'll get into the MaxPax Yakov PvZ, and then we'll go into MaxPax Spirit as our final matchup of the day and of this group stage. Well, that looked like me walking into bio. Yeah, PvT is, I know we always meme about, oh, Colossus just melt things, or Stim's insane. PvT is actually a very complicated matchup when it comes to like larger engagements. There's a lot of different things that come into play. And sometimes armies just get rolled, and it is because sometimes the compositions just aren't there, or the units aren't able to be used in the way that you want to use them, you know? So yeah, it's a little tough. Give it about a minute or so, guys. Home Story Cup is next week? No. Home Story Cup's in like 2 weekends' time. The 27th. It's Home Story Cup 27, starting on the 27th of June. So yeah, Home Story Cup's in 2 weeks. I'm hearing rumors that the player lineup is going to be a little bit all over the place. I think a lot of people that would usually be at Home Story Cup are not going to be there. Which is, would be sad. Yeah, so next weekend is EWC Global Qualifiers. So those are the players that were very close to making it in the regional qualifiers but didn't quite make it. They will be fighting for the 4 slots into the playing position. So that's so this weekend now is GSL finals, basically, if you're looking for big events. And then next weekend is EWC qualifiers, and the weekend after that is Home Story Cup. And then, like, 3 weeks after that is EWC. You assume I'm going to be at Home Story Cup? Yes, I will be at Home Story Cup. My first offline event of the year. How crazy is that? I'm gonna take my t-shirt home, Story Cup. Yeah, maybe I should definitely pack this one. It's so much. It's loved so much apparently. Have they announced the casters for the global qualifiers? I have no idea. I'm not casting it though. Yeah, probably not. Did they announce casters for any of the qualifiers? I don't think so, right? Yeah, I'm not casting the global qualifiers though. I didn't get asked. I got asked to do the Asian and Korean qualifiers, and that was the weekend of Kilaris's wedding. So I just kind of got left out of qualifiers for EWC, unfortunately. I have applied for co-streaming. Now, I was already accepted for co-streaming the last qualifiers, but I couldn't actually make it to any. But I don't know if... So I just reapplied, because I'm not sure if it counts for the global qualifiers. So I reapplied to co-stream the global qualifiers. So I'm hoping I can... if I get accepted for that, I'll be live for the entirety of it. I will do the whole thing on my own channel. So that will be fun. On the left, red Protoss player is going to be MaxPax, taking on Yakov in the upper right. Yakov's 0-2 in this group. MaxPax is 1-0, looking to get to 2-0 with a win here. I guess if MaxPax wins this, him and Spirit are through, Cristiano and Yakov are out, and then MaxPax and Spirit play first place, basically. Co-stream would be nice. Yeah, I mean, a bunch of people co-streamed the other qualifiers, right? So, like I said, I just wasn't here, so I wasn't able to. Otherwise, I would have done. You guys know me? Well, I guess if I was here, I would have been casting some of them officially anyway. But, yeah. I'll be, hopefully get accepted for it. Like I say, I already applied before and I got accepted. So, yeah. But moving around. Set up a little bit. Probably having the scouting done. Is going to be backing away for a few moments then, so getting away from there right now. Pulling back for the moment. That's the Stargate coming up. Next coming through. That probe just continue to come about. Can Stargate and the Adept coming in line, and we'll have ourselves already our first Adept across the map. Looking to apply some pressure here over the next couple of moments. I see a couple of Adepts getting chased. Ling's gonna go chasing. Ling's on the other side. Orc are going to be there to just push that back. I see a couple queens and the drones gathering around. The Oracle going to get stepping forward. I see the Oracle still getting bumped around. Not really too much going on then. We just have a lag coming up from Yakov and MaxPax moving into the Twilight Counts on the Forge currently. Just bringing that straight through. Oracles around that left-hand side. Coming around for the moment again. The Stalker's going to gather up. +1 blink both on the way in. This Oracle's going to provide a little bit of a revelation to give MaxPax the first chance to clean out some of the creep and take some of the map control away from Yakov that he's trying to establish. And that's set up. +1 blink coming through. The few lings hitting at the front door. Again, Roach speed coming up. Roaches and lings on the way through. The Stalker's still pressing at the front as well. Queens are going to be there, and the Stalker's once again getting turned around right off the bat as you see a little Stay Sword catching a ling. Again, +1 blink coming in through. Stalkers and the Oracles gathering up and yeah, figuring out where they are going to go to next here for the next little bit. +1 missiles and Roach speed continuing up as well. Going to counterattack with the lings once more. Going to get those straight across. Trying to get them onto this mineral line as we aim for some damage. Obviously, the Stalker's having a good time on the other side. Going to cancel a hatchery over here. So that's going to be a W as well. Stalker's still fighting. Ling's still taking damage. They get pushed away. Roaches, lings, +1 missiles, and Roach speed all coming online. So you have the rest of these Zerglings continue to make their way up to the top of the map. Ling's going to get caught in a stasis ward. Storm charge continuing to build up right now, so again we get that established. These few Stalkers need the stasis to kind of lower some of the unit counts here, but the first stage got cancelled and the second one just got a few lings at least. Not sure if MaxPax can really keep on kind of pressing forward with this right now, so might just need to slow it a second or two, ready for some reinforcements. And MaxPax knows he has the blink on the Stalkers, right, and he believes in his ability to blink back again. Stays catching a bunch of the lings. Just going to slow down the chase down for the moment. It's going to back out over to that right side, so it's going to get over there. The Stalker's pulling back down the left. As those lings gather up, and again all the way out down to the bottom. It's going to be stepping through. Next, there's a couple of batteries and cannons incoming. The infestation pit coming up as well. Add a few drones onto that. The lings and everything else continuing through. Roach Ravager link on that left-hand side. Potential to jump onto the stasis here. Yakov not really finding any opportunity aggressively, right? Every time he comes across, he pokes, he sees the defense is fine, and he just kind of picks up and backs away. Not really commit through to anything. To be fair, he's on his way to the Hive and the Lurk Den, so he's not looking to take big fights. He's more so looking to just kind of let this naturally kind of move on through without too much issue or anything. All those queens gather together. Now we've got some army moving through the center. Stalkers and the Archon, the High Templars coming across. MaxPax is going to have a scary army, to be fair. I mean, this is hitting just before Lurker Den is up, so it's just before we get to kind of a big upgrade in terms of unit composition from Yakov. A couple storms are going to zone. The Roach is going to try and burrow underneath this army, but there's going to now be an observer there, so we start taking damage freely. The Roaches pop up. cute idea, but the numbers are just not there, and the observer definitely helps. Just a few moments of extra shots off on those roaches before everything else happens. GG. MaxPax is going to take the game 1. So MaxPax taking the opening game. And going to be heading into a second map here in a couple of moments to see whether Yakov can bring it back or if MaxPax and Spirit will both confirm themselves into the playoffs. Alright, game number 2 going to be on Incorporeal. The game music is a bit high, really. I don't think anyone in my entire streaming career has ever told me the game music is too high. It's always the game music is not loud enough. That's crazy. I almost don't even believe it. Game music volume is actually a very preferential thing. A lot of people think it's too quiet, a lot of people think it's too loud. Turns out it's a very preferential thing. I personally like it when I can speak over the game music comfortably. But a lot of people like it, like, I every time I went to DreamHack, I always like to tell this story, but every time we go to a DreamHack or an ESL event and stuff, I always find, like, when I'm listening to the broadcast, I'm like, man, the casters are, like, fighting with the game music. Like, they're the same volume. And I don't, like... To me, when I listen to it, I'm like, oh, it does sound like they're fighting, like they're competing with each other. Whereas the game music, you want to hear it, but you want it to be in the background still, you know? That's how I think it should be, so... But yes, the volume does change track to track as well, which doesn't exactly help, so... Yeah. But yeah, my settings are exactly the same as they have been for many months, so don't worry, I'm not changing anything on the fly right now. MaxPax top left, Yakov bottom right, game number 2 of the BO3 with MaxPax leading 1-0. You hate when the music is as loud as the caster's voice, yeah. But some people really like that. Some people really think that's how it needs to be. Because I brought this up to multiple different production teams, and they're always like, no, like, that's correct, like, that's good, we want everything at the same volume. I'm like... What? It's crazy to me. But yeah, that's how they see it. Savages. Yeah, I agree. Overlord to the upper left. Cybercore coming down as we get settled in. It's going to have the hatchery, gas, and pool all coming online as well, so we get that set up. I'm just taking a few moments. Obviously, drones, queens on the way out. Can't set up at the moment here. The overlord going to come checking over. Just going to get toward the natural for a moment or two. YoungYakov fan plays all games without sound and music. That's crazy. I get it though, like some people just prefer different things. Like when I play RuneScape, I think people that play RuneScape with RuneScape music are bonkers. But I also can't play RuneScape without game sounds, so... Yeah, I can't play StarCraft 2 without game sound. To me, it puts me off if it's not there, you know? Like to me, it's distracting that it's not there. And then sometimes you see pros playing, they just have their earphones out and they're playing like a freaking god. I'm just like, man... It's like, obviously you don't need it, but like, to me it's so off-putting if you're missing something that's typically meant to be there, right? Beautiful part of catching up on these games and replays. Don't have to wait through the pause for whatever that was. Missing audio cues throws off gameplay. Yeah. I mean, a game with good audio and good kind of sound design is obviously going to only enhance the gaming experience, right? So, yeah, makes sense. Like, there's a reason, you know, games have good music or good sounds, or they don't. Things we coming about, Queens and drones on the way in. Just have ourselves the Nexus Gateway, and the simulator is building up right now. Avoid heading down to this bottom side to have a little bit of a poke. It's going to get deflected by a Queen. So far, MaxPax will not do much with this. The Oracle on the left side, however, will find drones without a Spore Crawler to accompany them, and no Queen either. So 3 drones going down, and now we head into the natural expansion. There's drones transferring, so actually thought there may have been an opportunity for at least one more there, but he just wasn't quite in the right position. He'll get one more on the way out, but it costs him the Oracle, so MaxPax will lose the Oracle. That's a mistake. Don't get me wrong, like 5 drones is still nice, but you kind of, you know, prefer to have the Oracle still up for sure. It's always a case of, like, the 4 drones initially went down without issue. It was getting that 5th drone that cost him the Oracle, right? So it's like, anytime an Oracle dies, it's always because you just try to get a bit more than you should have done. So yeah, it was fine, just stuck around a little bit too long. Plus 1 blink on the way up. The Void Ray going to get turned around by the Queens. It's going to get pushed back the other direction. Again, plus 1 and blink still on the way up. Getting that set up. Roaches and so coming through. And it's again the Evo Chamber and the Lair continue to come online and continue to get settled in. Couple of Queens is going to hit the Void Ray. Gets pulled out over to the right. As you see the Stalkers and the Oracle gathering together. And again, plus 1 and blink both building right now on the side of MaxPax as the Stasis Ward comes down. Stalkers gathering, going to push you up and get rid of a creep team on the high ground already. Stalkers will just hit the hatchery. A couple of Lings, the Roaches, the Ravages coming through. A couple of Biles come straight in. And plus 1 and blink coming straight up. The Stalkers coming about. Have the Void Ray around that right side gathering as well. Still just having ourselves the upgrades continuing through. And walking down Stasis Ward, if not careful, Yakov, oh, he sees it, piles it, and still gets caught in it. Oh, those Queens just chased a little bit too far. I mean, probably not the worst thing in the world, just a little bit sad, because he actually did see it. He did corrosive bile it away, just like I say, the Queens got a little bit too close. They got a little bit too involved as the Stalkers come back around to the center again. Drop Lords, Roaches, plus 1 missiles and Roach be coming up, plus 2 attack, Storm, and Charge, all building in as well. Again, the High Templars and the Gateways continue to produce. Stalkers just knock down and get rid of a couple of creep teamers already. Going to continue to push up as the Roach Ravager will go after those Stalkers. So again, we continue to chase through for the moment. That's a massive stasis ward. A lot of units getting caught there, and the Stalkers even able to jump across the stasis to jump on a couple of Ravagers. Able to get a big kill there. Obviously, Ravagers, expensive units you do not really want to see going down. So that is a problem. The left side, the Drop Lords are going to be set up. Ling Roach stepping toward the center. Big attack coming in from Yakov. 62 drones. He needs damage with this, otherwise he's committed a lot for nothing, as the High Templars do not have Storm yet, but they have it now. So that's how close we were to getting there before Storm. Drop Lord in the main base, a few Roaches and the Lings, so we'll have to keep on track of that. Trying to come in with the surround. Stalkers actually blink forward aggressively on the Ravagers that were forward here. Now the units from the right side going to get stormed as they come down this ramp. MaxPax is going to keep storming, morphs the Archon out of the 2 High Templar with low energy. In the main base, we are losing probes. Yakov is making some progress. Is that enough, though, as MaxPax, he's already cleaned up the attack at the front, so answer is no, not really. 20 probes doesn't matter when you can rebuild off of 4 bases. That's the 4th base is up as well, and Yakov knows it as well. He knows that this was just nowhere near good enough. He needs to kill so much more army, otherwise MaxPax will walk across the map and kill him. And that just didn't happen. GG's. MaxPax 2-0 over Yakov on that one. Alright, we're going to go into MaxPax versus Spirit, guys. Get that ready to go. Alright, MaxPax and Spirit coming up, guys. Last match for us today, and then we'll see what the playoff bracket looks like after as well. Alright, let's start up, guys. Let's get it underway. Guys, joined us for this group day. It's been fun. It's been kind of quick day, honestly. We're 3.5 hours in, about to do our 9th best of 3, but it's still been fun, even if it has been one of the quicker days we've had. As in the top right-hand side, the blue Terran player here is going to be Spirit, taking on our red Protoss in the bottom left, MaxPax. See what the PVT has in store for us then. So, what are we expecting? I mean, MaxPax, I think, just going to play Blink, control the map, and try and just get up to that army. I mean, really, it's kind of what is Spirit going to do? I think that's the better question, because I realistically look at Spirit in this game, and I think MaxPax is a difficult opponent for him. How does he survive through the Stalkers? Does he try to get aggressive himself? Does he try and just kind of sit back and turtle and kind of play into the longer game, which typically we think Spirit is pretty good for, but maybe not so much in PvT, so... yeah, a couple questions to maybe ask ourselves as the first probe scout comes over and just wanders in. Both these players, again, will be making playoffs now. They're both 2-0. The other guys 1-2 and 0-3. So both these players will make playoffs. This is straight up a match to decide who gets first and who gets second, which is a good seeding difference, because obviously first place seeds are typically going to be a little bit tougher to play against, so... something to think on there. SCV chasing the probe back for the moment. So I've got about to finish. Next is on the way. Add the assimilator on. Next is finishing up shortly. Getting the Stalker on the way through. Following this probe, but that doesn't really have much to do anymore. Let's follow the Reaper instead, as it starts to battle with a Adept. Grenades itself. not going to get punished or anything, though. It's not going to be a deadly grenade for the Reaper. He is going to be just fine as he pulls back. And heads back. I mean, actually get into the map on the other side with the Zealot. So the Zealot gets through. He's going to be able to go for a little bit of scouting. He'll get killed off by the Marines. And then the Adept is going to arrive to try and create some additional harassment as well. So that's going to come in right at the front, threaten the shade, and we'll see what he tries to go for. There's a bunker here, so we shouldn't be able to do too much. Obviously, you can sit behind the bunker, but Adept shouldn't be in too much of a concern. You got to respect it, but yeah, it's going to get handled. Low HP nearly went down. Good couple of dodges from MaxPax running around to try and avoid an extra shot or two to make sure you stay alive. Adept heads home, but now the Stalker shows up to try and be a bit more of a presence at the front. Oh, we bring the Hellion come across. They're going to hit the Adept that's low, but I mean, that Hellion is low, it's going to go down. Can we kill the Adept? I think the Reaper may as well just commit for the Adept at this point. It's not going to do much else. And that Reaper is going to get chased down. Oh, Reaper actually gets away even, so gets the Adept and gets away, even better. Robo, gates, probes coming through. That Robo is indeed finishing. Tank and the Marines on the way out. Tank's still just building in. We have ourselves the, again, finishing shortly. Prism still building on the Robo. Couple more barracks coming through. Drop the Engineering Bay down. It's actually interesting. He's created a full wall there, so if MaxPax blinks in, if you blink from here to here, you're just going to be walled off. So obviously you can hit the structures, but you can't reach the siege tank in the back easily. So yeah, actually creating a straight up wall off of structures here against the blink harass, which to be fair against MaxPax is maybe not a bad thing as long as it works, right? We'll see if it works in a moment or two. Stalkers warp in. We're going to get an SCV at the front. I'm just going to blink at the front onto this bunker. We're not even going to see the wall in the main base come into play just yet. The bunker gets repaired though, and it's going to have plenty of repair to keep it alive there. So that is going to be a good defense for the moment. Stalkers just sitting out the front. Going to blink across. SCV going down. A couple SCVs going down. There's 6 workers killed, which is not bad at all. Good harass from MaxPax, which is sitting out on the map. Still warping in 4 Stalkers at a time. A late third Nexus from him because he's gone for the 4 gateways of blink. So for Spirit, this really is just if you survive, you're in a decent spot, but I think this is the thing. Like, he'll probably survive. I mean, not just if you survive, right? MaxPax can absolutely get damage here without kind of killing Spirit or something, so I think we are kind of heading somewhat in that direction. Stalker step through again, Bio. I'm going to be losing the Marauder now. A couple of Marines taking shots also. I'm just going to continue to step through. A couple of those Marines very much so still getting picked off. At least we'll finish up Stem. A couple of probes go down as a medevac across the map. One of mine is killed. And that medevac drop will not do much else. So that's going to be the end of that. We come checking back in over here with these Stalkers collecting the Prism overhead. Stalker down to that bottom right side. Just going to go hiding away. Again, the Medevacs, Marine Marauder, Combat Shield, and the +1 all still building for the moment. We're all going to threaten the potential of attacking through with these Stalkers again into the natural, perhaps. Medevac goes down the right side. Combat Shield and Charge continue to build up currently. And the +1 charge on the way in. Just going to be seeing the Robo Bay coming through. Gateways in production. Combat Shield, Concussive Shells, and the +1 still building as the Prism loads up. A few Zealots going to go around the top, head into the main. Bio diving through. A bunch of those Stalkers immediately going to get turned out the other way. Just going to push those back. A couple of Stalkers going down. Prism gets in. Took a few shots off the missile turret initially, so it's going to be low. It is indeed also going to be in there, so gets in. Goes for the warp in, decides not to bother, cancels that warp in and just lifts up. The whole bio army is on its way back, so maybe that's why he just realized that this was a big commitment backward. And that MaxPax had already gained what he wanted to with the Zealots and the Prism, which is just to pull that main army back and to stop him from getting out onto the map so he can continue to main control at the front. And obviously give himself more time to get built up into more upgrades and higher tech units, such as the Colossus that are currently filling the production tab on the side of MaxPax. His fourth base building as well as the third just lands now from Spirit. So again, maintaining the position you want to be in as a pros player, which is ahead economically, tech looking good. The only thing for MaxPax is his probe count isn't super amazing, 63 only, but as we get the fourth base finishing, I imagine we start adding a few rounds of probes on, and we'll get that work count a little bit more fixed up towards 70 to 80 workers, compared to just the 60-ish that he's sitting on at the moment. Stalker's trying to step through. Tank is going to be there, hitting those Stalkers back. Does Wardy ever take vacations? No. I'm chained to the desk casting StarCraft 2 24/7. I'm only allowed to take a day off if I convince enough people to subscribe to the stream. That's tough in this day and age. Those subs ain't easy to come by nowadays. Plus Doom plus 1 still coming through. External Thermal Lance a part of this. That Robot Bay building. Do scan out toward the Nexus here, which is building up at the front as well. It's just bringing that straight in. Stepping over. There's going to be seeing a Prism setting up. A few Zealots are going to go spreading around as well. File pulling back down to the bottom. Vikings going to go shooting. Colossus taking shots. We are going to see one Viking, two Vikings going down. Another Zealot getting picked off as well. 10 SCVs go down. I mean, good stalling fight from Spirit, I feel like. Gets a good bit of back and forth, but I'm not sure if he can get rid of these Colossus, and obviously taking damage at the other side is not ideal. 16 SCVs dead now. Main base not mining. Natural is defended, so we're starting to get on top of it, but like I say, are we also able to continue through comfortably over here? Cells coming in from the right side. The Colossus absolutely swinging with those laser beams, and MaxPax is going to push this back. Yeah, that is going to get pushed back, pushed away. 19 dead SCVs. That's the problem for Spirit. It's like, you get pushed back, that's fine, but getting pushed back while losing 20 workers is really not ideal. That's definitely kind of part of the problem. As the Colossus gather back up, it does really feel as though this is heading to be rough for Spirit. I feel like his best chance right now is to load up 2 medevacs and go across the map so he has some counter pressure for when MaxPax hits him. Because if he just sits here and tries to fully defend, I'm not sure he finds a good enough fight. At least with 2 medevacs across the map, MaxPax might turn around. You might get a base because MaxPax responds incorrectly. I feel like right now you've got to do something which gives MaxPax the chance to make a mistake. MaxPax is unlikely to make a mistake just walking across the map and attacking into you when you clearly lost the last fight and lost economy, so you can't rebuild as easily. Then I feel like just sitting here, like, how does MaxPax make a mistake? The Zealots charge in, Colossus laser beam. He's going to be cautious about it, but yeah, like a mistake, hard to come by. So Spirit gonna just stand and try and fight a little bit. A couple of Vikings will do what they can, but man, these Colossus, 5 of them, are gonna start losing some as we blink backwards. And actually, the Bio making the dive. Hello, Colossus, start dying, please, to Spirit. He finally starts to get them, and when they fall, they start falling down quickly. The problem is it's coming at the cost of another 20 workers. There's only 30 workers left in the game. That's unrealistic to hang on to, and a spam of gateway units reinforcing this is looking as though it will be plenty to overwhelm the final units and to, well, if nothing else, break through for more SCV damage. Getting up to 30 and more, and Spirit was truly just dead in the water right there. GG's. And we are going to have MaxPax taking the opening game. MaxPax gets the 1-0 lead. And into game 2 in just a second. On Pylon. So thank you, JC Mini Painting. Thank you so much for the 2-month resub on the Prime. No vacation yet, but maybe a stretch break. Thank you so much for the 2 months. And thank you to Kuwabara the Man for the Prime sub for the 22 months. MaxPax is doing it. Yes, he is. We are trying to get back up to 500 subs, guys. If you do enjoy the stream, consider supporting. Helps us out a whole bunch and allows us to do a whole lot more StarCraft 2 in the future. Let's dive into game 2 of this series. As Spirit and MaxPax battle into a second game. In the top left-hand side, our Blue Terran. Kick us off in this best of 3 is going to be Spirit. And he is going to be down a game. Looking to bring it back. In the bottom right, our Red Protoss player will be MaxPax, looking for 2-0 to get a clean 6-0 through this group. Oh no, he actually lost a map to Cristiano, right? If I'm not mistaken, yes. On the other day. Probably MaxPax to the upper left. He will not take any risk. Scout, confirm a little bit of what's going on, etc. in those early stages. And away he goes. Coming around, trying to boost on the Adept. As you can see, this Adept is going to go across the map. Going to be a second Adept behind it, and the Twilight Council has an early choice from MaxPax. Starport building. Is going to step through. Adept is going to be chased back a little bit. Again, the Blink and the Warp Gate continue to come through. A couple Marines on that Cyclone building. The Orbital Command coming up. So it's going to lower. Going back down. Warp Gate's still coming about. Blink is chrono boosting. Gateway being added on. And a couple of Adepts still just picking through. The Cyclone's going to finish. And will actually come through to chase those Adepts. One of them begins to shade. The other one does not, and that's the one that was not locked onto. So this Adept might actually go down now. Shade's very late. We're going to lose both the Adepts. So MaxPax will unfortunately lose out on both of those. That's going to be a little bit of a shame as our Stalkers continue to gather together. As the Cyclone gather up, a couple gates still coming through. What happens if a building lands on an Adept Shade? It gets blocked. Buildings can't land on an Adept Shade. It counts as something being there. I know, it'd be fun if you could just land on the Adept Shade and just like, if it shades into it, it just gets like killed by the building. Finally a way to punish Protoss players for shading those freaking Adepts around. Your new Terran strategy, just lift up all your barracks and try and drop them on top of the Adept Shades. And if that gets home, does not get picked off by the Stalkers on the way back, so that's a good sign. MaxPax is looking for the natural. No bunkers up just yet, so that might be a little scary. Gonna get straight through. No tank on the low ground either, so these Stalkers have a lot of potential. Obviously, Prism to micro them back after the blink in initially. SCVs are pulling. 5-6 SCVs going down. What a fantastic start for MaxPax. The Spirit was just defending the main. But like I say, bunkers were not ready on this low ground. His timing of the defense has just been off. And now 8 SCVs go down. We get the medevac as well. Had the Cyclone inside too, if I'm not mistaken. Now we're going to go to the main. There is a single tank in the main. It is walled. But that's some serious damage early. Because not just 8 SCV kills. Loads of SCVs were pulled off the line repairing during that as well. Lifted that barracks, which would have been a terrible timing for it. We're going to drop a few Stalkers on top of the tank too. We're going to get that, and Spirit is in a world of trouble. As Stalkers just blink on top of other units. The tank walking up the ramp is likely to make no difference. Spirit knows it. His defense was just not what it needed to be right there. That's going to be MaxPax taking the 2-0 to finish this group in first place. Congratulations, MaxPax. He will, like I say, come out of this group in first place. Congrats to him. So, what we're going to do, guys, we're going to get the bracket up so you guys can see what the bracket will look like for tomorrow's games. Hey, what's up, BBB dude? Thanks so much for the 50-month resub on the Prime and Parmigiano. SC2, thank you so much for the fresh Prime sub as well. I appreciate it. What tournament do we have left for last spots of EWC? You still have the GSL and hang on. You still have GSL, and then the global qualifiers are just a thing as well. Yeah, okay, sorry guys, one sec. Having some issues because my I can't log into Wikipedia with the correct account because you have to do it through TL now, so it's a little bit strange. Alright, give me a little, guys. Try and get this bracket up for you all. That should be it. Alright, our bracket is up. Let me get back to a page that's not going to flashbang you all. Sorry, so it was a bit awkward because I had... Yeah, okay. Perfect, let's show you guys the bracket. And let's see what we're going to be playing with tomorrow. So it's all going to be best of 5s, so I will get rid of the best of 7. Cool. So it's going to be Beyond versus Mana, MaxPax versus Solar. That's because Solar got second place in this group to Geralt. So MaxPax, Solar, Reynor, Creator, Geralt, Spirit, and then semis, finals. So we're probably going to do Beyond versus Mana, MaxPax versus Solar, semi-final, Reynor, Creator, Geralt, Spirit, semi-final, finals tomorrow. Alright, so that's our bracket, guys. There we go. It's actually a pretty cool bracket. Should be a lot of fun. A Zerg on either side of it as well. Oh my goodness. Crazy. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching today. I will see you all tomorrow for the playoffs of the WardiTV June event. Gonna run a set of ads on the outro, supports the stream. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.